Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Wrestling Rundown, episode number 138. I'm here with...
I'm just simple, man. And my name is Noah Foster.
and I'm Owen the Birdman Finch, and this is pretty exciting. I got a no DQ recruit on the show. Obviously, we are part of the no DQ NXT team, so we kind of talked through that group chat, and we were just recently on the predictions video for NXT TakeOver Phoenix, which I won. I actually didn't think I was going to win, but I actually won, so I was happy about that.
Congratulations.
But yeah, we're pretty much here to talk about all things WWE related. We're going to review all the shows that have happened and obviously talk about the big news stories, which will probably come up as we mention the wrestlers and stuff. But yeah, we're going to start. Typically, how I started off is I just kind of go chronological order of when the shows happen. So we're going to start off with NXT TakeOver Phoenix. Before we actually review the show, what were your overall thoughts on NXT TakeOver Phoenix?
You know, when you get a takeover event, you're in for something special. They have yet to drop the ball on one and go backwards. This event was my event of the weekend. Absolutely loved it from top to bottom.
I agree. It was definitely an awesome show. Now, I break down my TakeOver reviews differently than Stefan and Jerry do. What I do is I review the matches that aired this week on NXT along with it, since they were the dog matches of the show. So, right. I just kind of start with those. It's kind of because obviously trying to review that whole episode doesn't take very long. So,
you have two matches now.
Yeah. Even though War Games had 3, because 2 of them were squash matches, but.
Sure.
But yeah, we're just gonna I'm gonna mention the U-End awards because I figured those are important, and I'll just say them real quick, and you can kind of give your thoughts on the awards if you liked how they went and stuff. So, Andrade Cien Almas versus Johnny Gargano won the match of the year from NXT TakeOver Philadelphia, which I actually am very happy about. I know that got like some controversial things in our group chat and stuff. So
yeah.
But they didn't call him Andrade Cien Almas on the show. They just called him Andrade because that's his new name now. I figured they actually would have called him Cien Almas on the show, but they didn't.
No.
Io Shirai won Future Star of the Year, which isn't really a big surprise to me because she was a pretty big Impact player in the Mae Young Classics this year and stuff, and I actually can see that. It was either between her and Matt Riddle, so... NXT TakeOver Phoenix won TakeOver of the Year, which that was an awesome takeover. That definitely deserved to win that hands down. Ricochet won Breakout Star of the Year, which that makes sense. Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa won Rivalry of the Year.
Well, that was a no-brainer.
Huh?
That was a no-brainer. I saw that winning from a mile away.
And then Undisputed Era's Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong won Tag Team of the Year. That also was a no-brainer. So, and this one surprised me. Kairi Sane won Female Competitor of the Year. And Tommaso Ciampa won Male Competitor of the Year. And Overall Competitor of the Year was Kairi Sane, because how it works is the person and the female and the male competitors kind of face off, and I guess they just vote. So those are the U-End Awards winners. Any thoughts you have about them?
I feel like it got overloaded a bit for Kairi Sane. I knew she was going to win at least one award. I did not expect her to win, like, multiple. Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano, Driver of the Year. That one was my obvious pick to win. So glad Undisputed Era won. It was definitely their year last year. They owned all the takeovers pretty much. I feel like they're going to own NXT again this year. I thought their awards were pretty spot on. There was a couple I was like, really? But I was okay overall with the results.
Kairi Sane kind of had me. I'm guessing what happened, though, I'm just guessing here, is maybe they felt sympathy because she got sick last year, so they wanted to kind of give her this win. But it was really kind of weird. I didn't expect Ciampa to win, too, because it's like a fan vote, and I figured they would have voted for Velveteen or Ricochet, but I was actually pretty surprised they voted for Ciampa. But everything else I was actually largely okay with. And then you had the matches on the actual show themselves. The first match was Io Shirai and Kairi Sane versus Jessamine Duke and Marina Shafir. I thought this was a good opening match. Obviously to TakeOver, I'm just kind of talking about because this probably was the first match overall. And I think Marina Shafir and Jessamine Duke actually aren't that bad. I think they're actually pretty good. I think they got to stay in the tag team because I feel like if they do one-on-one matches, the weaknesses would get exploited. But doing the tag team matches, I think works better. And I actually was surprised. Io Shirai and Kairi Sane actually won, and I'm kind of surprised that they're kind of jobbing out Jessamine Duke and Marina Shafir like this. But I really don't have much of an issue with it because it seems like they really want to push Kairi Sane and Io Shirai because I think Io Shirai is probably the next contender for the NXT Women's Championship. As for star rating, I thought this match was good. I gave it 3 stars. What are your thoughts on this match?
It was a pretty average match, but Marina Shafir, Jessamine Duke, they're finding their place. They're finding their footing. I think showcasing them as a tag team is a great way to build them into the brand. Because right now, I don't think either one of them are ready for like a singles type match. And in my opinion, the right team won because you had a fully established team. But also, I see this eventually building to a 6-woman tag: Shayna, Jessamine Duke, and Marina Shafir versus Io Shirai, Kairi Sane. If Dakota Kai is still injured, I could see Mia Yim taking her place.
They actually did a because I watch the post show usually afterwards of NXT. They actually did a 6-woman match with Bianca Belair included on like a house show. I don't know if they do or if they are gonna do it. I didn't really hear, but because I think Bianca Belair after this show is, which we'll get into that, is fully babyface now. So, but yeah, I like this. I agree with pretty much everything that you said. Then you had the actual then you had one more match. It was Wesley Blake and Steve Cutler with Jackson Ryker inside versus the Street Profits. I thought this was a pretty entertaining match. It was, very fast paced and I really enjoyed it. One of my favorite spots in this match was the power bomb into like the knees in the corner that they did. I thought that was awesome. And Montez Ford was just hitting all types of dives in this match. And then eventually it comes back to bite him because Jackson Ryker takes out Montez Ford, and Angelo Dawkins and Jackson Ryker stare each other down. And he goes to take him out, but Wesley Blake hit the suicide dive on him. And then they hit their, what I believe they call is Memory Remains, which I actually kind of like that name because that's a reference to Metallica's song. So I and obviously that kind of fits their gimmick in a way. So, yeah, Forgotten Sons win, which I'm really not surprised about because it looks like they're building up like a heel tag team to face War Raiders probably eventually. I just kind of wanted Street Profits to win because I like them. But what were your thoughts on this match?
I feel like this is just right now, like you said, building to the next possible contenders to War Raiders because they still stick with the whole heel face dynamic. I agree with the whole Memory Remains reference. We all know Triple H, he's a metalhead, Triple H driven product. So it makes sense, especially with the way this team is portrayed. One of my favorite, I cannot believe the airtime that Montez Ford got when he literally just jumped over the top. It was just clear to like nothing. I thought it was a pretty good match. It started slow, but it picked up in the end. And I'm sure these two are going to face again. This is just the start of another storyline. It was.
Yeah, I agree. I wondered too, like with that, like that amount of time they faced, because it wasn't like a second. Like I wonder if they're going to do a one-on-one match with Angelo Dawkins and Jackson Ryker too, because it seems
you have to imagine that stare down is going to lead to a one-on-one encounter. Yeah. Yeah,
because Angelo Dawkins, a lot of people forget he's wrestled in NXT since like 2014. He was like originally enhancement talent. So, and then you had the pre-show. I mentioned this because you had Charlie Caruso, Sam Roberts, and Pat McAfee on the panel, which I love them on the panel. I always look forward to watching the pre-show to see Pat McAfee mainly. But I want to mention like one notable thing that kind of came from the pre-show. When they were talking about the women's match, Sam Roberts buried the match pretty much, saying that it wasn't going to be on TakeOver, which I was kind of surprised about because typically when they do these panels, they usually constantly promoting the match. And in a way, I kind of like that they did this because it kind of shows that the panelists down in NXT aren't like, puppets in a way. They could kind of have their own voice, speak for themselves. I mean, because I don't think Sam Roberts went off script or anything because I feel like they would have like cut his mic or something or like went into commercial if he went off script. It was just something I've never really seen before. What are your thoughts on like him doing that and stuff like that?
This just further proves how original and free-willing NXT is versus the main roster, just like when we learned about the scripts and how the outcomes really aren't on the scripts, nor do the announcers know it. The people are free to express themselves and be themselves. But Sam, I never expected that out of Sam Roberts. Not only did he express himself, he was biased, really.
Yeah.
And in the end, it really made me interested in this match more because, come on, who really thought before this Bianca Belair was actually going to beat Shayna Baszler? It was almost like filler to me before I heard this shoot from Sam Roberts, and it actually got me into the match more. Honestly, I would have expected Candice LeRae to face Shayna at this point, but I was a pleasant surprise.
I mean, maybe too, it could be the thing where Sam Roberts doesn't really feel like, he needs because he has got his own podcast he could be doing, so maybe, it could, but I definitely think it's more the first thing, but it just was very, I liked it. It was, I'm not, because I know you could say Bailey's one of your matches on the show and stuff, but I don't know. It was just something we've never seen that before, so it was kind of cool. It was very cool. So
I feel like it's kind of approaching your audience differently because you have the audience that's like pre-programmed to determine, oh, it's a kickoff show. They're going to tell us everything that the video packages have told us the last 5 damn days. This was way beyond that. He was basically going against what the video package was telling you and what everyone wants you to believe. In the end, he probably got more people interested in the match, let alone the show. So
yeah, I was, yeah. And then you had the real show. You had Nigel McGuinness, Mauro Ranallo, and Percy Watson on commentary, which I think that's like the best commentary team right now in WWE.
As far as 3 people, I completely agree.
Yeah. And then I'll let you talk about the opening match. It was War Raiders versus Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong for the NXT tag team titles.
It was a really good match. I had a feeling as soon as I saw like the opening segment, I was like, crud. Because usually when a team comes out with a big entrance, they're more likely going to go over. Here they did. This match was everything I thought it would be and more. Incredible offensive agility by War Raiders. Such impressive moves by such big men. Undisputed Era, they're always going to deliver you a tag team classic. It was really back and forth. I didn't think it was favored to either team. This match was a 4 out of 5 for me, but doggone it, got that prediction wrong.
Yeah.
And again, pleasantly surprised by what I got out of it, and kind of interested to see where we go from here. I have to imagine the Undisputed Era is going to face War Raiders again, but probably not the next takeover.
Yeah, maybe like on an episode of NXT or something. Yeah, because there's like 2 months before the next takeover. So But yeah, I thought this was a great match. Like some of the highlights was Hanson missing his dive and War Raiders
stand.
Yeah, that was awesome. And then obviously what O'Reilly and Strong hitting the finish and leading to a near fall, that was awesome. And obviously just when the match was spilled into chaos and Mauro Ranallo said let the bodies hit the floor again. Another reference to Drowning Pool because that's one of their theme songs.
ECW reminds me of One Night Stand 2006
and 5. And they did it they did that song at SummerSlam 2001 too, actually. And the finish comes when the War Raiders hit their you probably watch more of the matches in the Indies than I did, so I don't know the name of the finish, but it's the backdrop leg drop combination that they hit.
Yeah, it's that powerful like leg drop backdrop. I forget the name myself. It's eluding me right now.
Yeah,
different indie stuff lately.
But I agree with you. 4 stars. That was definitely a hell of a match. I did forget to give the star ratings to the Street Profits versus. I thought that match was pretty. I give it 3 1/4. So.
Yeah, it was a little above average just because it really showcased what the Street Profits bring, but it also showcased what the Forgotten Sons could bring. Because if you remember in that Tyree promo, what the Street Profits did with the doors and all that stuff, the Forgotten Sons was one team they did not mention.
Right.
And what is the Forgotten Sons thing? Do unto others, we will not be forgotten. I think now Street Profits know who they are.
Right, and I thought that. Plus, the dark matches aren't supposed to be really that good because obviously they don't want to give too much away.
Right. And think about it, these were before the show started, so basically you had 3 tag team matches back to back to back. Obviously, for Raiders Undisputed Era, they still stole it out of those 3. If nothing else, just the impressive moves you saw of War Raiders.
Right, and then you had Cassius Ohno versus Matt Riddle. I thought this match was very well placed on the card, mainly because it won me the belt. But um, but yeah, this match actually ended up being pretty good. This is easily Cassius Ohno's best match I've seen him have since he's come to NXT. And I know like a lot of people say that because obviously they can't. I'm actually being legitimate. Like this is actually easily his best match since he's been back with NXT. Because obviously he hasn't really been in the best of shape and stuff. But he pulled out a moonsault. Well, he didn't hit the moonsault, but he still attempted one. And obviously the most memorable spot of this match was Cassius Ohno going after Matt Riddle's feet and like putting him in his mouth and twisting it and stuff. And it was pretty cool. I kind of like how they reminisced about their like attack when Cassius Ohno like attacked him and he threw him into the post and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually like the finish when Matt Riddle won by submission, but he didn't win with a submission move. He won by just repeatedly elbowing Cassius Ohno. I thought that was a really
knockout submission move almost. Shades of an MMA background.
Yeah, I thought it was a very unique finish. I thought it was and I thought this match was pretty good. I'm giving it 3 1/4. I think mainly I'm giving it 3 1/4 just because of that the Cassius Ohno attacking the feet that brought it up to 1/4.
Well, we wanted to see what Cassius Ohno and Matt Riddle could really bring because their last encounter was 10 seconds, and then the following encounter was. It went a little longer, but you didn't really get like the full aspect of it because it's NXT TV, So they don't give you like a takeover caliber match all the time on NXT TV. Between these two, I didn't see that how many less was on takeover. This was good, but I remember their matches when it was Chris Hero versus Matt Riddle on the indie scene, as Stefan corrected me on. But yeah, it was okay. I thought the toe bit was a bit extreme, but I like the callback to the whole fist pump and Matt like. Oh, right. You're going to try this again with me? Nope. And literally, he didn't submit him, but he made him submit to his attacks. That was a brutal finish.
I don't think you really see that much either. So it's, pretty brutal finish. And then you had match of the week. I called it too. It was going to be match of the weekend, and it was. It was for the NXT North American Championship. Johnny Gargano versus Ricochet. Now, there was sometimes when I review these matches, I try to break it down move for move, but there were just other times where I'm just going to be like, just go watch the match because like words cannot do this match justice. I mean,
yeah, it makes me glad that I'm not a journalist or a commentator because even then, I'm sure there were moments where they were like, I'm at loss for words, or I just wish I don't have to speak. I just got to watch. So many awesome moments here. I mean, the counters to each other's moves and finishers, each one of them using each other's like submissions. The internal struggle between Johnny Gargano giving it to the dark side, but still sticking to his morals. But in the end, he went to that callback about, I kind of like it. And he used it to his advantage and won. Yeah. But easily, this was match of the night, match of the weekend, a near 5-star classic, probably 4 1/4 if you're going to be that critical, because maybe you could be like, oh, maybe this match went too long. Maybe they could have done this. Maybe they could have gone without this. But by far, an absolute amazing match. Ricochet, still the human highlight reel. Johnny Takeover still lives up to his name. Now he's Johnny Champion.
Every match, too, he's in on Takeover is the match of the night, too. Like, it's pretty insane. Because I thought he had the match of the night at War Games, and then obviously all the matches with Ciampa, to me, were match of the night, and then his match with Almost was match of the night. And one match of the year, so. I pretty much agree with everything you said. 4 3/4, especially the finish. I mean, even though I picked Johnny Gargano, what typically happens is I pick him to win, and he never wins. I actually was pretty surprised that he actually did win too, and he won clean too. I guess it wasn't clean.
It was the last takeover he won was more like a redemption match. Beyond that, he really hasn't won any takeover, yet he's still in the show. It was about time he picked up a win.
Yeah,
and his first singles title too.
Yep, because he's the new NXT North American champion. And I love it. I think it's great. And he didn't win clean because obviously he exposed the lid and stuff like that. But I thought it was
flex on the concrete. Ugh, almost a brain buster.
And then you had the NXT Women's Championship match. It was Shayna Baszler versus Dakota Kai, Bianca Belair. This match was good. I feel like one of the problems with this match is obviously it had to follow Ricochet versus Johnny Gargano. it was still good, but obviously it's kind of tough to follow that. The crowd kind of wasn't into it and stuff at first. But I still thought it was good. I actually liked how Shayna Baszler used Bianca Belair's hair to a disadvantage when she pulled her hair and she went into the post, because that's kind of like the first time that's been used as like a weakness. So I like that a lot. And Shayna Baszler consistently talking trash to Bianca Belair and telling her that she's not nothing, and Bianca Belair consistently trying to punch her, but Shayna Baszler would move away, and then eventually she whipped Shayna Baszler with her hair, and it felt like a huge mark right on her side, right on the side of her ribs and stuff like that. Like, it looked pretty brutal. And then she hits her finish, which I believe I'm going to mess it up, but it's the KOW or the KOD or something like that. It's pretty much a burning hammer, I think. So, and doesn't get the win. No, actually, what happens is the ref took a bump, which obviously we shout out to Cindy, because she did point this out. This was the first time a woman referee has taken a bump. I think she was just talking about in WWE, because I don't know if they've done it.
Correct. There are, believe it or not, folks, there's more wrestling besides WWE. There are other women referees, and they do take bumps. Sometimes give them too.
I think actually in TNA when ODB was shortly a ref, she took a bump. Actually, I think I remember her doing that. So
Gail Kim took a bump at Homecoming when it was Taya Valkyrie versus Tessa Blanchard.
Who did?
Gail Kim.
Oh, okay. But maybe I guess maybe she was talking about more, because obviously the more wrestlers than referees, but I believe I'm assuming this isn't like this is the first time in WWE. There's probably been women referees that have taken bumps outside the company. So, then Marina Shafir and Jessamine Duke went out, and Bianca Belair kicks their asses and lays them out. And I was wondering at first, why Marina Shafir was wearing that face mask on her face, because I thought she hurt her face in the opening match, but I guess not, because she came out with it in the opening match too.
House show incident.
Huh?
House show incident.
Oh, okay, that makes sense then. And one thing that didn't make sense about this match is that Bianca Belair went for the cover after her finisher, knowing the referee was taken out, because she's the one that bumped into the referee, so that kind of didn't really make any sense. But that's the only pick I have with the match. And then she goes for the 450, but misses. And Shayna Baszler, I believe this was the second attempt, she got the coquina clutch in, and obviously she had fought out of it twice, but then eventually the third one finally takes her down, but she doesn't tap out, she passes out. And that was pretty much the finish. I gave this match 3 stars. I thought it was good. And I actually really liked the way the match finished. And like I said, I think Bianca Belair is definitely babyface now. There's no question about it. And then afterwards, too, I don't know if you saw the interview afterwards. She even, called out Sam Roberts after that great performance and stuff, too. So what are your thoughts on the match?
Well, it was all about proving one of two things. Is she undefeated or overrated? She's not undefeated anymore, but she's certainly not overrated. And like she said in the post-interview, Sam Roberts, she kissed my ass. Very good match. Very good showing by Bianca. Probably one of Shayna Baszler's best championship defense type matches, since her previous ones were against Kairi Sane, Ember Moon. She's had matches with Dakota Kai that were okay. Heck, she had one match with Britt Baker. But this is one of Shayna Baszler's better matches in my opinion. I like the way that her hair again was used against, like you said. To my knowledge, it's actually the second time her hair has been used against her. Back when she was in a Battle Royal, Billie Kay yanked her hair to make sure she didn't follow the ring, and then Bianca Belair whipped the daylights out of her and then bundled up in a ponytail. Surprised she didn't do that here in this match. That has got to be the first searing noticeable mark that her hair whip has left on an opponent. Man, Shayna got scarred.
Yeah.
It. I like the fact that the ref actually took a bump in this, so kudos to Jessica Carr, former indie wrestler, by the way. And I think she did a very good job in this match. She's a very good ref. I already kind of saw the involvement with the other horsewomen coming into play. I didn't think it was going to come at the expense of a ref bump, but it made total sense to me. They played their part. And it really protected Bianca in defeat, because not only did she break out of the Karafuda clutch once with her strength, she tried a second time, even tried a third time, and in the end, she didn't tap out. She passed out. She went over to defeat. Shayna Baszler still kept the title. Both women looked great, and they handled the crowd pretty well after a stellar match of the night.
And also, you could make the argument that because she would have won the match if the ref didn't take the bump and stuff. So that also protects her as well. So,
which is why these two are going to face each other again for the title. And again, it wouldn't surprise me if it's at the next takeover. But then again, this isn't WWE main roster. They like to change things up. It might be before the next takeover, but I definitely see these two face each other again for the title. It was 3.5 for me.
And then you have actually. I should mention this. You didn't really see anybody new in the crowd. The only people you saw in the crowd were Pete Dunne and Tony Storm.
Right.
Is that it? Am I missing anyone?
Velveteen Dream, after we saw him backstage, he was sitting, like, I guess they said front row, probably our camera side, taking in the show. But
right.
Yeah, it was like no surprises like Kushida or Abyss or Sanjay Dutt or Shane Strickland. No, it was existing, signed WWE talent under a different NXT banner, but still NXT.
I mean, I guess that was a little disappointing, but I think WrestleMania weekend we'll have some big names and stuff. So
you got to. I mean, come on, it's the pinnacle. It's the turning point of WWE. If I don't see Kushida at some point during WrestleMania weekend as a crowd cameo, I'll be bloody shocked.
Or Trevor, because Trevor Lee, who is who I picked. So.
Correct, and he is with NXT, I believe. So
yeah,
I mean Chelsea Green too. We still haven't seen high nor tail of her. I'm hoping I see her at the house shows. But anyway, moving on.
Then you had the main event. I'll let you talk about the main event. It's the NXT Championship match. It's Tommaso Ciampa versus Aleister Black. Thoughts on this match?
I thought it was a very good match. We all saw the outcome here, because we all kind of figured Aleister Black's going to go up to the main roster. At this point, it's got to be imminent, even with halftime heat and stuff like that. But then again, Triple H, he wants to keep NXT talent. He feels like they're not all necessarily needed to be called up. So we'll see what happens. But I feel like he's a lock to go to the main roster. It was a very good match. There was a lot of showcasing by both men. The focus here was definitely Aleister Black leg, because, again, that's his finisher. And he went for it many times, failed at it. When he finally hit it, was like the biggest pop of that match. The match really felt like it started off slow for me, but it picked up as soon as they finally went outside of the ring. And Aleister Black, I think, did a Meteora to Tommaso Ciampa. Ciampa, of course, giving himself pat back for throwing Aleister into the steel steps, doing a little clapping and that.
Yeah.
A bottle of water came into play. Aleister knocked it out of Ciampa with a light kick, and apparently slipped on it, too, when he was trying to get back in the ring. And, very tail ending. Took 4 of them. But Ciampa retained.
I even like the Tower of London you hit on the apron too. That was awesome. And then at the end, so I'll give the match probably 4.5 stars. It was very good. Then you have Johnny Gargano come out, and they stand tall, showing that DIY possibly is going to have a full reunion, because they've had bits and pieces, but they haven't fully come together as a team.
Well, you heard the crowd, and everybody wants a heel DIY, apparently. I think right now it's safe to say DIY owns NXT.
Yeah.
And they did it themselves.
Exactly. But even though the show ended, it wasn't over yet. Because we'll just cover this now, because obviously it ties into the Rumble, but, we'll just cover this now. Velveteen Dream comes out. And obviously this makes sense because he has aspirations to go after the North American Championship. And since he's in that Worlds Collide tournament, it kind of plants the seeds for that. And Adam Cole comes out because I think he was upset Velveteen Dream was out there. Yeah. And Aleister Black and Ricochet, all kind of come out and start talking shit. And everybody gets into a brawl to the point where Triple H has to come out and even break it up, which that kind of showed how big of a deal this was, because typically you don't really see Triple H on NXT unless he's doing the Facebook Live interviews after the takeovers and stuff. So
yeah, I haven't had a chance to see that Facebook interview. I like the fact now they put him on WWE's YouTube channel, but I can only imagine his comments on this too, because you gotta imagine that interview took place after he cleared up this brawl, where even Steve Corino couldn't stop this from just getting out of control.
Right. So this match is leading to tomorrow, which by the time you see this video will be today. Halftime Heat, the first time coming back in 20 years. I actually just reviewed the first one just at 8 o'clock. So,
A match, yeah. I can guarantee you it's not going to be empty with these 6.
no, it's going to be a 6-man tag team match: DIY and Adam Cole versus Velveteen Dream, Ricochet, and Aleister Black. I expect that match to be insane. I'm not exactly sure what's happening with that because I read online that like they're doing this at 2, but are they just taping this at 2 and they're gonna air it live during the halftime of the Super Bowl? That's what I'm guessing, because when you go on the like WWE app and stuff, it says 2 p.m. that it's airing, but they're telling us after the Super Bowl, so I don't know. And I'm not going to be watching the Super Bowl because I'm not really a sports guy, so I don't really know when I pretty much have to have my friend text me when it starts, so hopefully I won't be doing anything. But yeah, it's going to be pretty cool because Shawn Michaels will be on the commentary team for it, which that's going to be kind of pretty exciting. I hope he's with Mo because that would be pretty cool. And then it's going to be filmed in Full Sail, not Full Sail, the Performance Center, which that would be pretty cool because you only see matches take place in there and stuff. But I guess they're going to have like I think they are going to tape it because all the wrestlers that are football fans will want to watch the Super Bowl. So.
I'm pretty sure this is going to be pre-recorded, just like pretty much 90% of the Worlds Collide tournament was. Because, again, it's the biggest weekend of the year for most people. Not me. Super Bowl weekend. But here's to all you Super Bowl fans. I hope the Rams win. Simple as that. Patriots, suck it.
I'm from Boston, too, so... But I honestly don't really mind because I'm not a sports fan, so...
Well, I'm just doing this for my friends that are sports fans. Because if anyone knows me, the only sport I know, yes, I call it a sport, suck it if you disagree, is wrestling.
Right. But yeah, that was TakeOver. I thought this was an awesome show. We get to do letter grades on here, and I'm going to give it an A-. I thought it was fantastic. I typically give them A's. I don't know exactly what's keeping me from giving an A. I think mainly that we didn't see, anybody new in the crowd. I think that's kind of what disappointed me. But I still thought, an A- is still and if that's like a disappointment in an NXT standard levels, then you did a good you do a good job, so.
Well, compared to what you knew you were going to get out of the weekend, to those that know the NXT product, and you look at other takeovers, and you look at who was involved in this takeover, I think A- is about as perfect as you're going to get. I mean, if you do push it down to B+, it would have to be either A, you were not happy with an outcome, or B, you wish somebody else was involved in a match that wasn't.
Right.
For me, it's an A- as well.
Yep. And that was TakeOver. This year was not... It was better than the Royal Rumble because obviously that depends on opinions. But I thought the Rumble was better than TakeOver last year. But this year it was better than the Royal Rumble. But let's talk about the Royal Rumble. We had the kickoff for that, which was very long. The whole show. How long did you think the show was?
Well, they said, rumor has it was going to go to midnight. It basically did. So if you include kickoff show, this whole thing was about 7 hours long. So mad respect to anybody that was there at opening doors, sitting in their seat, come 5 p.m., just being part of the arena.
I'll say this too. It kind of flew by for me because I watched it with friends and stuff. So when you watch wrestling with friends, the time goes by faster. But I can understand.
It's definitely motivating, especially when you take part in Predictions League. Shout out to NoDQ.com and the winner, Greg Cherry. Dadgummit, freaking Shinsuke Nakamura.
I know that sucked. Because I did my own predictions, and me and my friend tied at TakeOver, and we have a thing like if you tie, the champion wins, and we're doing best of 3 series. And typically we tied on the main card, but we have a rule like if the kickoff matches can be the tiebreakers. But of course, we both picked. I picked Rusev, he picked Nakamura, and he picked Hideo Itami to win. I picked Buddy Murphy, so we tied on the kickoff too because of the way that Yeah,
and let's not forget how WWE loves to swerve us. They added one other match randomly, just out of nowhere. You have one half of the LP and one half of the Revival versus who I'm calling the Glorious Alpha, Bobby Roode and Chad Gable. There was no way in hell Bobby Roode and Chad Gable were going to lose this match. I'm glad they were showcased, but it was a pointless filler.
And it's 2 years in a row that Bobby Roode was the worst match of the weekend on the Royal Rumble weekend, because last year
That's just damn sad.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll talk about the kickoff. You had the panel of JBL. Actually, no, JBL wasn't on the panel. He was with.
He's still part of the kickoff, so still blew it, but continue.
Yeah. Joey the Kim Lawler, Beth Phoenix, not Byron Set,
Coach.
Booker T. And not Renee Young.
You said Beth Phoenix.
I'm missing some people. Oh, David Otunga.
Yeah.
And
well, they were switching out. I mean, like what? Every half hour or on the hour or something like that. You had in and outs with David Otunga. You had Shawn Michaels on there at one point. Shout out to Shawn, by the way, representing both NXT and NXT UK. Thank you, Shawn Michaels.
Okay, I have it right here. It's Jonathan Coachman, Beth Phoenix. It was Booker T. I was forgetting.
Yep.
Which it's pretty easy to forget him because he's not very good doing this. So. But you had promo segments. I'm just going to mention them all because where the new Daniel Bryan went off on the Royal Rumble burger, which I thought that was awesome.
Brilliant. Still delivers the best promos in WWE. One of them, anyway.
Drake Maverick came out and he set up that match that you just talked about, so with Roode and Gable and stuff. And Lashley and Leo Rush came up to JBL and stuff, say they were going to win the Rumble. They did an interview with Alexa Bliss, said she's going to win the Rumble. And Samoa Joe did an awesome promo on Mustafa Ali and just the Royal Rumble and Randy Orton. It was pretty awesome, so check that out. And I think that's about everything, that I can remember. If I missed something.
Talk-wise, you basically covered all that.
Yeah. But let's talk about the kickoff matches. You had, Bobby Roode and Chad Gable versus Razor and Scott Dawson, and if they won, AOP and Revival would get a Raw Tag Team title match, which I guess I should have known because Akeb's injured that they weren't going to win, because I actually picked them to win because I thought they were going to set up, future tag team stories, but I was mistaken.
Change bedfellows like Team Hell No? No.
Yeah. Roode and Gable win. This match is 2 stars. It was just there. What were your thoughts on it?
Chad Gable, he owned the match. It was 2 stars for me too. Where the hell was Dash Wilder?
Right. And like we said, poor Levitt, because Scott Dawson ate the fall on this match. So, and Drake Maverick was.
Revival gets buried even further. Gee, I wonder where they should go now from here. AEW. But anyway.
And Drake Maverick was ringside, so. This was the first time he's been in his manager role because AOP hasn't been on television. Except main event.
He's been buried ever since the whole McMahon joke about the robe and stuff like that, which I will not recall and go back to. Let's face it, both these teams, dead in the water. You're better off just staying in catering because at this point, you're not worried of anything.
Yep. Then you have Rusev versus Shinsuke Nakamura for the U.S. belt. This match actually was pretty good. Obviously they always have good matches with each other. It was pretty sad that Nakamura was on the kickoff when he won the Rumble last year. So there's that. Nakamura, though, exposes the turnbuckle, and Lana tries to stop it because she was managing Rusev. And, referee gets distracted. Rusev inadvertently knocks Lana off the apron, which that came into play later on in the show. And Nakamura hit the King Sasha, or however you say that move, right to the back of the head for the win. And I was kind of very confused, and I'm still confused considering what they did on SmackDown this week, which we'll get into that. But this match I thought was pretty good. I gave it 3.25 stars. Maybe it would have been maybe 3.5 if it wasn't for the finish.
Yeah, I honestly, 1, did not expect a title change on a kickoff show. 2, what is the ref thinking? You got Nakamura taking up the turnbuckle, but you're dealing with Lana who's really yelling she's cheating. There are so many things out of place. The only things that actually work for Rusev and Nakamura are just working with each other. And the fact that Nakamura won because Rusev bumped into his wife, and he took advantage of that. Rusev, you're in a title match. Don't get distracted by your wife. Why is she out of ringside with you? What the hell's going on here? The bottom line is this. I did not like this match at all. The U.S. title is almost dead in the water. Hashtag me U.S. title great again. Hopefully they will at one point. It was 3 stars for me because at least Rusev and Nakamura, they can pull off a match together one-on-one. But this was just pointless.
I'll let you talk about, and I actually was hoping, because they put that, Rude and Gable versus Razor and Dawson match on the, I actually thought, did they move the cruiserweights to the main card? I was mistaken.
I wished.
I'll let you talk about,
205 Live matters. But anyway, continue.
Since you're doing a whole show about 205 Live, I'll let you talk about the cruiserweight match. Buddy Murphy versus Kalisto versus Hideo Itami versus Akira Tozawa for the cruiserweight title.
Ladies and gentlemen, 205 Live matters. It does not belong on the kickoff show. This was the best part of the kickoff show and a damn good 13-minute match. All four of these men came out here and won it. You start off with all four in the ring. Hideo Itami rolls out, and we get the exchange between Buddy Murphy, Akira Tozawa, and Kalisto. And Buddy Murphy is basically going against them 2 against 1 as Akira and Kalisto take down who he calls the Unstoppable. Eventually, this leads to all 3 of those men out of the ring. Hideo back into the ring. There were so many incredible spots in this match. I mean, you had, let's see here. At one point, you had an assisted Hurricane Rana by Akira Tozawa and Kalisto for Buddy Murphy and Hideo. Hideo standing on the ropes. Akira Tozawa just goes out there with his suicide dive headbutt into Kalisto, who then Hurricane Rana's Buddy Murphy into the barricade. You had friggin', I don't know what you call this, but Akira and Kalisto are on the apron. Akira sends Kalisto flying into Buddy, takes him out. You had Akira with his best hits, his yelling. You had missile drop kicks. At one point, you had Hideo getting dropped, I think, head first. I hope he didn't suffer a concussion during that moment. By Akira Tozawa, gets rolled out of the ring. Akira, he goes for another assisted diving headbutt, stops in the dime because Hideo goes to the other side of the ring. He turns direction, goes out that way of the ring, hits the suicide dive on Hideo Itami, and then Kalisto and Buddy Murphy come back to the ring. Buddy Murphy sends Kalisto flying, and all 3 of those men are out. Then Buddy Murphy, Shades of Kenny Omega, just flies over the top rope, just stands up on his feet. Oh, that was nothing. Then what happens after that? He comes back into the ring, and out of nowhere, Kalisto, bam, spikes DDTs him through the second ropes, near fall. And then it just kept going from there. There was a super kick party, shout out to the Young Bucks, pretty much, where you had a jumping knee strike, you had a caught Kalisto kick into Buddy Murphy, then a double super kick to Buddy Murphy by Kalisto and Akira Tozawa. There were so many awesome moments in this match. Why the hell did we have Shane and friggin' Miz? Oh, father moment. Nostalgia. F that! Anyway, it was an incredible match. Buddy Murphy, insane champion. He's got knee strike shades of Kenny Omega's V-trigger. In the end, he won with Murphy's Law and Hideo Itami. Loved the match. It was 4.25 out of 5 for me. And that's all I had to say about that. Simple as that.
I completely agree with that. So, the only thing about this match, though, is it seemed like Hideo Itami kind of was not really, it seemed like he kind of was off a little bit in this match when you kind of watch it. Maybe there's maybe we know why now, because he's leaving. So maybe he just
look. If you're fed enough creative crap, it's going to eventually drain on you mentally to the point that I got enough money. This money isn't worth it. Why am I still here? Okay, I got to change the match. All right, but you already told me. He gave what he could in the circumstances he faced.
Yeah. But still an awesome match. Should have been on the main code.
Damn right.
Then, and I forgot to mention the commentary teams. It was the Raw commentary team, Cole Graves and Renee Young. Then you had the SmackDown commentary team, Corey Graves, which I feel bad for Corey Graves because he was commentating the whole show except that cruiserweight match.
Well, let's face it, they're trying to turn Corey Graves into the next Michael Cole. The only difference is Corey Graves got more personality than Michael Cole. But Corey Graves is literally doing everything announce-wise outside 205 Live. And he used to do that too. Yeah. But Corey Graves, Tom Phillips, and Byron Saxton. And the 205 Live match was Vic Joseph, Nigel McGuinness, and Aiden English. How do you think Aiden English is doing on commentary? I think he's doing pretty good right now. He's doing a pretty good start. It's nice getting an insider's view because, again, he is an active member of the roster, so he interacts with these people. He talks about how Dale is like giving him the hardest kicks he's ever faced in his life. By the way, those Spinal Tap exchange kicks between Buddy Murphy and Dale Itami, both men just eating away at each other, trying to see who could get first. That was fun exchanges, too. But anyway, yeah, I think he's doing pretty good in his role right now, and apparently this is at least through WrestleMania season. We'll see
Yeah.
where it goes from here, but I just wonder, where is Percy Watson? Are they just experimenting here? Because again, he was on TakeOver, so I just wonder if they're just, trying to change things up, at least some stuff anyway. But I think so far he's doing okay.
Then you had the real show, and you had the opening match. It was the SmackDown Women's Championship match. Becky Lynch versus Asuka. This was, I thought, a great match to open the show. They both exchanged submissions on each other with Becky Lynch, doing her own, but then eventually she did the Asuka lock, and Asuka did the disarm her, which I thought was cool. Asuka hit like a fisherman's neck breaker off the apron, which was awesome. And this match, these women just like completely tore the house down, and I thought they had a great match. But eventually, Asuka wins with some weird submission. I believe it was almost like a last chancery, but not quite a last chancery.
It's like a bridging Asuka lock almost.
Yeah. And she gets the win, which I was surprised that Becky Lynch tapped out because I figured she should be the type of character that doesn't tap out, but I'm not really going to complain about that because obviously they fixed that later on in the show. But I thought this match was great. I gave it 4 stars. It was just a great opening match. What did you think?
I love both these women. I was waiting for this one-on-one encounter for a long time. I expected to deliver. Interesting they chose it for the opener, but I was okay based on again what we're going to talk about later. Both women brought it. You knew what you were going to get. The crowd was red hot for Becky. The entire night through, even before this, that sick attempted fisherman networker spot off the apron, though. If Becky would have just landed a little more, and we're like, good God, that could have been horrible. But yeah, both ladies, they exchanged their submissions at one point. And again, I expected the outcome Asuka to retain. I find it interesting how they're going to use the fact that Becky submitted. They could probably use that towards a storyline with Ronda. You never know. Yeah. Because again, Ronda is also submission specialist. Couldn't figure it. A lot of the horsewomen are submission specialists. So this could be also planting more seeds or just more trash talking between the 4 horsewomen versus 4 horsewomen. Because we all know how WWE keeps teasing and wanting to give us that. But yeah, I mean, there were some great spots here, and both ladies brought it. It was definitely a 4 out of 5 for me. We'll see what happens as far as Asuka's next title defense goes, because right now there's been no follow-up to that.
Right. Oh yeah, because she was on SmackDown this week, which I didn't even remember until I watched What Culture, Ups and Downs actually. Oh no, Ups and Downs. It was, I think, something else. Then we had the next match. It was the SmackDown Tag Team title match. The Miz and Shane McMahon, the best tag team in the world, versus the Bo. Since you have your glasses off, ready to talk, I'll let you talk.
Why the fuck was this on the damn main show? The only thing worth noting is the fact that we got one of my favorite moves out of it, Cesaro's swing for like 20 seconds. Bottom line is this: predictable, stupid, did not need to be as long as it needs to be. You have a 50-year-old man now as a SmackDown Live Tag Team Champion instead of freaking Good Brothers Insanity. Are you freaking kidding me? Miz should be contending for the WWE Championship, in my opinion. I guess so far this face turn's going better than last time, but overall, this whole tag team division now has been ruined. The only remaining tag team division that was decent according to the main roster. And as soon as they lose the titles and split, it'll be a better day for SmackDown Live overall. Simple as that. And better yet, maybe the bar should just split. Hell, I'd like to see Cesaro versus Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania. But bottom line, did not care for this match at all. 2.5 for me. Congrats to Miz and Shane. Blah, blah, blah.
You said it all. I agree completely. It's I don't know. You pretty much, I don't even need to say anything. The storyline just sucks. So.
And I know people are going to be like, oh, it's a main storyline. Don't you know it's nostalgic? Hey, Miz is a champion, and we might get Shane and Miz WrestleMania. Good for you if you like that. Guess what? I don't have to like everyone's opinion. I have my own. You disagree? Right. Put it in the comments. Come at me. That's what's called being a fan. Simple as that. Bottom line, I don't care about Shane and Miz as champs. It shouldn't have happened.
Right. Then you had the Raw Women's title match, Ronda Rousey versus Sasha Banks. This match was really good. Ronda Rousey tries to out-wrestle Sasha Banks, and they both kind of just do the chain wrestling spot where they're just kind of feeling each other out. But then Ronda Rousey punches the ring post which causes like the video to go out, which I think they put that out themselves because we
Yeah.
noticed later on in the show that it was working again. And Sasha Banks targets the arm of Ronda Rousey, and then eventually Ronda Rousey mounts a comeback, and she actually wins with and I actually like too how Ronda Rousey even was talking trash, saying that I actually can wrestle, and did like tried doing like the Eddie Guerrero Three Amigos spot, which was pretty cool because that's Sasha Banks is a huge Eddie Guerrero fan, so I thought that was a nice touch right there. And then eventually Ronda Rousey wins with the Irish plunge, I think they call it. Oh no, the Rowdy plunge. It's
Piper's Pit.
Yeah, that's Piper's Pit. Yeah. And she retains the title. I was surprised she got a pinfall win because she typically uses the armbar, but I kind of like it because it shows that she can win with multiple moves. So I like this. And then afterwards they shake hands, but they continue to tease the 4 horsewoman match with Sasha Banks coming back and doing the 4. But I thought this match was really good. I'm going to give it 3 3/4 stars. A lot of people like this match probably a little bit more than me, but I still really liked it. But I think maybe because I knew Sasha wasn't winning, that it kind of knocked it down a few pegs and stuff. So that's just me though. But I give it 3 3/4. A lot of people are saying this was like the match of the night, but I thought, I'm not saying Becky and Asuka was match of the night, but I thought that was better than this match.
Well, it was kind of midpoint of the show, so people know Ronda Rousey from mainstream stuff and like that. The interesting thing here, though, is I love the fact you said wrestle. That's the key word here, wrestle. People think Ronda Rousey giving all this. Oh, she's a mainstream name. Oh, she's MMA. MMA superstars can't wrestle, but she really did show not only she can carry herself in the ring from her technical standpoint, but she can wrestle too. She tried to match Sasha move for move, which I thought was very interesting. It kind of added a whole new dimension to her overall character and in-ring style. And the fact that she won via pinfall, her first pinfall victory, I might add, was definitely interesting to me against someone that's known for really only winning by submissions. At one point, she was also in the submission, the Banks statement. And I love the fact we got shades of NXT Sasha here with heel Banks stomping on her hand, using the ring gear of Ronda, I think the stuff that's on her hand, against her at one point. You got like your suicide dives. And yes, biggest inspiration for Sasha Banks is Eddie Guerrero. So I like how Ronda tried to use that against her at one point. Attempted Three Amigos. Very good hip turns too, by the way. I love all her gear inspired by Power Rangers. But overall, this match just fell together to me. It was a good showing. I hope this means Sasha does not fade back into obscurity with this whole Boston Hug thing. And like, oh, this is just once. I think it was pointless. But the right person won, in my opinion. It's a teaser of 4 horsewomen to come, because I guarantee you it's got to happen at some point. Hell, wouldn't surprise me if it's Survivor Series or built a year in advance and be like next year's WrestleMania main event. But yeah, I enjoyed this match overall, and there's no way Ronda's fist broke that LED. She probably sell. And again, Ronda, great seller, love her trash talking. The match was a 4 out of 5 for me too.
And then we have the Women's Royal Rumble. I might be missing some backstage segments, so if I am, you can just let me know, but I don't think I am. You had Tom Phillips, Corey Graves, Beth Phoenix, and Renee Young call this match, which I kind of liked that mix because obviously you have women's perspective on it, and you have the males. It's an example, though, of why 4-man commentary teams don't work, because later on, the men's Royal Rumble match really showed that. But
that was a wreck via commentary.
Yeah. But yeah, I'll go through about everyone that's in it. You have free agent Lacey Evans, and she comes out and does a promo talking about how all the women division was nasty. And I actually thought like someone was gonna come out and like throw her out really quickly, but that's actually not what happened. It was instead Monday Night Wars Natalya. And she actually got the Iron Woman spot. She lasted 56 minutes and 1 second in this match, so that was
very impressive. Awesome. She was my number.
And then we had SmackDown's Mandy Rose. Monday Night Wars Liv Morgan. She got eliminated in 8 seconds by Natalya, which was funny. You have to have those funny moments in a Royal Rumble.
Of course.
And then you have Monday Night Wars Mickie James. Monday Night Wars Ember Moon. She was actually injured in this match. I don't exactly know when she was hurt, but then you have SmackDown's Billie Kay, but Billie Kay doesn't come out to the ring right away. She is waiting because Peyton Royce is coming out later. And then you have free agent Nikki Cross. She throws Billie Kay into the ring, and she hits a big crossbody right onto everybody, and just really starts going off on them. And she was just being Nikki Cross being crazy. And then you had SmackDown's Peyton Royce, and the Iconics end up eliminating Nikki Cross, which I really didn't hate that elimination too much because it was 2-on-1. So there's that. And then you have Monday Night Wars, Tamina Snuka. I know her name's just Tamina now, but so. Then you have interesting choice they went with the next entrant. It was NXT's Xia Li, which I thought that was kind of interesting because, I mean, I don't hate Xia Li or anything, but I thought there was just better people you could have put in her spot, because like she didn't really get much of a reaction, and I kind of forgot who she was. So, what were your thoughts on like the Xia Li inclusion?
It was an interesting choice. Definitely was a surprise for me because, again, you Rumble, you got surprise, you got moments, you got quick eliminations, and then you got your iron people, Black and Natalia. So this was definitely the first surprise for me. I love the fact NXT was incorporated, and it started out NXT Chance. And you got a little bit of almost a Kung Fu action type style action when she first got on the ring, which I thought was cool, too. She had a pretty good showing.
I just, I mean, she had a good showing, but I think Shayna Baszler should have gotten this spot over Xia Li. That's just my opinion. But, and then you have Monday Night Wars. This is number 12, Sarah Logan. Number 13 was SmackDown Charlotte Flair, and she just pretty much went on a spree.
Game changer.
Huh?
That was the game changer right there. As soon as you heard Saw's music, you're like, oh, crap, here we go.
And then we have NXT's Kairi Sane, which I kind of expected this because she had won those awards and stuff the previous night. And Natalia and Kairi Sane both eliminate Sarah Logan. And then 205 Live's Maria Kanellis, which I popped for this. I laughed because obviously you know the reports because you're on ODQ. There's been rumors that her and her husband are going to leave WWE, and that they weren't even at, the Royal Rumble weekend tour and stuff, and they pulled their network show. So when she came out, I loved this because it was just kind of this is nothing against NoDQ.com because so they're not included, but it kind of like was like a big F you to all like the reporters out there. I just laughed at this because I thought it was funny. But
Maria knows how to play reporters and knows how to play the press. She's been in the business now for a number of years. Now she's managing her husband, who's been through Impact. So I mean, I was skeptical on the whole Maria and Kanellis thing too, but it was a pleasant surprise. And again, 205 Live match, the only woman of 205 Live, and again, she had an entertaining showing as well. Going back, by the way, at the very beginning, there's a thing that's been going around about how Vince loves blondes. The fact you had 3 blondes back to back to back. And you had, I think what they call a blonde sandwich, I think at one point Corey said, between Mandy Rose, Natalia, and Lacey Evans. It was just an odd opening, to say the least.
Yeah.
And all 3 of those ladies, they went the distance, too.
Yeah, Mandy Rose went 25 minutes and 50 seconds, and Lacey Evans went 29 minutes and 20 seconds. And then number 16 was SmackDown's Naomi, and she had her spot where she did the barricade spot where
the female Kofi Kingston.
Yeah.
Or so we thought.
And then she had eliminated Mandy Rose, but then when she got back to the apron, Mandy Rose eliminated Naomi. A common theme I saw me and my friend pointed out is once the people that could do this stuff got their moment, they were just eliminated right away, which was kind of funny. But yeah, Mandy Rose eliminates Naomi, which I guess that makes sense because they want to continue that storyline. I don't know why, but they do. And then you had number 17 was NXT's Candice LeRae. Not number 7, sorry. Number 17 was NXT's Candice LeRae. But that was actually a nice surprise. I actually liked that.
Candice wrestling.
Yep. And then you had number 18's Monday Night Wars, Alicia Fox. They actually worked, her and Maria Kanellis worked together, and eventually they got in a fight over a hat because Maria Kanellis destroyed it. So it led to, Alicia Fox throwing like a temper tantrum like she was 2 years old, which was funny. And I think eventually it led to Maria Kanellis getting eliminated by her. So
Yeah, speaking of Maria, by the way, when she first came in, she literally was looking at the stare down between Charlotte Flair and I believe Lacey Evans. They're like, pay attention to me, pay attention to me.
Yeah.
Lacey Evans and Charlotte Flair, they had a good one-on-one encounter. Kairi Sane, Charlotte Flair, they had a chop contest. You're not going to out-chop a Flair. Good luck. Good try, Kairi. Just saying. Charlotte Flair, she had her moments with other competitors with the NXT talent. So, hey, maybe she's going to help push them. I don't know. But, yeah. And the whole Alicia Fox and Maria Kanellis thing, that was ridiculous. That stupid hat. And Alicia doing a front flipping Ric Flair flop, I guess you could call it.
Yeah.
I don't know what to make from that.
And then you had number 19 was NXT's Casey Catanzaro. Catanzaro, I don't know how to say her last name, but
yeah, Catanzaro, you got it right. Also known as the Spider Monkey. She's also Ric Flair's, not Ric Flair, Ricochet's, I think, partner or girlfriend, something like that.
Girlfriend. And she had a good spot. She did this in the Mae Young Classic where she did the split, and then she crawled up the ring post to get save herself from
That's insane. And then of course she also did that handstand, inverted her and Karana. Casey is very impressive.
Yeah. I'm surprised they haven't put her on TV yet, but maybe they're trying to find spots for her because there's a lot of spots in NXT right now.
You gotta figure out how many people are signed to the NXT brand that have not shown up on NXT TV yet. Trust me, they're still figuring out a lot of stuff. We still have yet to see Casey, Chelsea Green, and those are just the first two off my head. Who knows how many others?
Right. And then you have SmackDown's Zelina Vega, which she came out. Obviously, this it was supposed to be a reference to a video game. Yeah, so that was pretty cool. And then you have Monday Night Raw's Ruby Riott, and she came back out with Sarah Logan and Liv Morgan, and they would help Ruby Riott beat down people so she could eliminate them. Eventually, they eliminate Kairi Sane, and they go out and continuously attack her. Well, first, number 22 came out. It was Monday Night Raw's Dana Brooke, and I mentioned that first. And then number 23 was NXT's Io Shirai. And I kind of expected this because of what the direction they were going, because obviously they're best friends in real life, and they're a tag team now. So
that's correct.
I actually like this. I believe she eliminated Ruby Riott. I might be actually I am wrong. So that didn't happen. So I thought that happened, but.
Well, it was nice to see Io Shirai give her a side moonsault, though, to the Riot Squad, helping out her friend Kairi Sane. Io Shirai had a very nice showing us on. Yes, you're right. They're best friends in real life, and now they're a tag team in NXT. I'm just glad when the Riot Squad took out Charlotte, they didn't pull the whole, oh, she's out for a while. She's got to go to the back, but she's going to come back like they did with Roman Reigns at that winner takes all, 1 versus all Royal Rumble back what was it, 3 years ago now. So
yeah. And then you have and obviously Io Shirai was able to do that moonsault because she didn't actually get into the ring, so
correct.
And then you had number 24's NXT UK's Rhea Ripley, which that was an awesome surprise. Even though I kind of predicted it, I still popped for that. That was awesome. She looked very dominant too in this Royal Rumble. She got a ton of eliminations.
Indeed.
I think she actually got the most in this match, but that might be wrong. I would have to kind of look through it some more. They did a spot, too, with Zelina Vega where she went under the ring and hid for a while. But it was kind of annoying. They kept cutting back to it and stuff, but I guess it is what it is. And Hornswoggle returned.
What the fuck was that about?
Yeah, I don't know. And he goes after Zelina Vega, which causes her to get eliminated by Rhea Ripley, and he chases after Zelina Vega. So
and Rhea Ripley's like, okay, that just happened.
Yeah, kind of very nonchalant because she's just being a character where she just doesn't give a shit about anything. So, then you had number 25 of SmackDown, Sonya Deville. Number 26 was Monday Night Raw's Alexa Bliss. I still think they should have saved her for a surprise entrance, but that's just me. Number 27 was Monday Night Raw's Bayley. Number 28 was supposed to be SmackDown's Lana, but she was hurt, so she was taking a little while to get to the win. We'll get back to that. And then number 29 was Monday Night Wars, Nia Jax. She attacked. I can't believe she still did that. I'll never forget about that. Like little thing she did. I don't even know what that was supposed to be. She attacks Lana, and then number 30 was SmackDown's Carmella, since her and R-Truth won Mixed Match Challenge. Yeah, Alexa Bliss hit a new move, which you can now name, I guess, because they're doing that now. And she had like the moonsault into the knees to the gut, which was pretty cool because that's, a pretty new move for her. And it comes down to the final 6. Well, actually, first I got to mention the most important thing about the match. Becky Lynch comes out, and
thank God.
I actually was thinking about this too. I'm like, are the WWE going to be this stupid and do the same thing they did in the 2014 Royal Rumble? Are they really going to be that stupid? And they weren't.
Thankfully.
Becky Lynch comes out, and Finley was out there, which was a nice cameo. And she wants Finley to put her in the Royal Rumble, which kind of doesn't make any sense because he's not like an authority figure, but I'm going to go with that because you can make an argument that since he's an agent, he puts matches together, so he can do this.
No one else came out, so I mean, she has a number, but she can't make it to the ring. Does she forfeit? Is the number vacant? I mean, What's the one rule of the Rumble? Both feet have to hit the floor. Besides that, there are no other rules to the Rumble. Not a single one.
Well, yeah, they've changed the rules a lot, though, but that's a different video. Becky Lynch, though, was allowed to go in, and it comes pretty much, like the match continues to spill into chaos, and it comes down to the final 6, which was Alexa Bliss, Ember Moon, Carmella, Nia Jax, Charlotte Flair, and Becky Lynch. I probably messed that up somehow, but Alexa Bliss eliminates. No, wait, it wasn't Ember Moon. Yeah, I did mess something.
Ember Moon was eliminated by Alexa Bliss because they were sharing a spot on the apron, trying to hit each other with looks like suplexes, slams, and eventually Alexa Bliss slams her down to the apron, and Ember Moon just literally.
Yeah, it wasn't. So I don't remember who the finals. I know those were like the final 5, but I think I'm missing. I think I'm missing the final 6, but.
I know Rhea was eliminated at one point. The bottom line, you fast forward, you know who the final 3 are.
Yeah. Alexa Bliss gets eliminated. Carmella gets eliminated by Nia Jax. And the final 3 were Nia Jax, Charlotte Flair, and Becky Lynch, which I thought this made sense because, of all the controversy around these 3 women. Yes. And Nia Jax gets eliminated by Becky Lynch because Becky Lynch got thrown through the ropes and was able just to pull Nia Jax. So then it's down to Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch. And I'll let you break down this part of the match.
So this is one part where I went a little bit rated R on my Twitter feed when I was literally bad-mouthing Nia for almost ruining Becky's chance to win as she attacked Becky, pulling her through the ropes and attacking her knee to the point that Becky almost couldn't continue. And Charlotte's just there with her smug smile, just laughing, looking at this. Becky still says, I can go. No, I can go. So she goes back into the ring, and at one point, Charles just continued working it. Throws her over. You think she's going to fall. No, Becky keeps fighting. This was so close back and forth, but thank God Becky won, and Charlotte literally just falls out of the ring eventually. And Becky won, and they gave her a tremendous amount of time to bask in the moment, take in the moment. It was the feel-good moment of the night for the crowd. Feel-good moment for me, not just because of predictions, but because Becky's my girl, man. All right, Becky deserves this. She's the man. Simple as that. And again, I could go more in depth in this, but I'm just gonna be freelancing this and just be like a fan. I'm just so happy she won. And they gave her moment for like a good, I would say 5-10 minutes, just to take it in, let the crowd enjoy it. It was wonderful.
Now we gotta do the star ratings. So, what do you rate this?
Well, let's see. Last year's Rumble, the first Rumble, yeah, it's definitely on commentary, and it was more about just the moment for women. So it's more about nostalgia. But also, I feel like the appropriate person won there. But compared to this one, it focused more, abstract that. It focused literally on current talent. You have plenty of surprises from NXT, and even had a surprise from NXT UK, which I thought was very pleasing. And the right person won overall, in my opinion. And the way they set it up was surprising to me, and I'm just glad it happened. This Rumble, because I'm still like, what the fuck was Hornswoggle doing there, and what does that do to Selena? This Rumble was a 4.5 for me.
Okay. I think I might go 4.5 too. I thought it was a great Rumble. Not one of my favorite Royal Rumbles, but definitely a great Rumble.
Yeah, well, it's hard to compare this Rumble to other Rumbles, considering it's a women's Rumble, and you can't expect the women's Rumble to work the same way as a men's Rumble.
Right.
And I mean, this was the first one that truly focused just on this roster, but it still had a decent load of surprise, fun moments, memorable entrance, a memorable outcome. So overall, a still decent Rumble overall.
Yeah. Then you have, I'll let you talk about the WWE title match since I talked about that whole Rumble. It was the new Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles.
It was a good back and forth. I expected these two to deliver as always because you have AJ Styles versus Daniel Bryan. I mean, what else do you expect? The sad thing is, though, just when it happened because the crowd was dead. Everybody was burned out from the Rumble. These two had a great back and forth where they were trading moves, trading punches to the face, Daniel Bryan's specialty. And the biggest takeaway from this was Eric Rowan. Eric Rowan now part of Daniel Bryan. And Daniel Bryan won. There really wasn't much more I could remember or say about this match because, again, I was burned out from the Rumble. The biggest thing you can take away from this was Rowan. That's it.
Yeah. And I kind of feel bad about that because if this match had taken place like, anywhere else on the card or just any other show, it would have been easily an awesome match. But it's just, this is why I kind of say like it's a bad idea in a way to have two Royal Rumble matches because then the crowd gets burnt out after the first one.
Right. You also got to consider how deep it was into the show itself. Technically, the show started at 5 at the kickoff. So people have been sitting there since 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
It's sad to say, but I wouldn't be surprised if not this, or the Brock Lesnar match. People got out, went to the bathroom, grabbed a hot dog, or grabbed a shirt because they were just burned out, or they were literally on their phone looking down.
Yeah, it kind of sucks. So I'll be generous and give this match 3.5 stars because it probably would have been 3 3/4, but I'll be generous and give it 3.5 stars.
At some point, I'm gonna have to go through the Royal Rumble and just watch that match again by itself to see what it truly delivered. But I agree with you. And again, Rowan.
Yeah. Which I actually kind of like that though, because I think he could be like the new Daniel Bryan's muscle and stuff. So.
Well, again, he's his intellectual peer, and truth be told, Eric Rowan is a very smart individual. He's got a high education, so
yeah.
And they referenced this back at one point. I remember during a promo where he was talking in a very smart, sophisticated way, and talking about how people look down at him like before that and stuff like that. So maybe when he finally speaks, they'll refer back to that. But yeah, this will be interesting to say the least. Especially since Daniel Bryan talks sometimes in his promos about how this intellectual once said this. So
yeah,
we'll see what this leads to.
Then we had the Universal title match. It was Finn Balor, not as the Demon, which that was.
Yes, it was the Fonz, Mr. Smile. Damn it, Balor, go back to Bullet Club Prince Devitt. It's not working. Continue.
Versus Brock Lesnar with Paul Heyman inside for the Universal title. They had a really good match. I was kind of surprised by it. It was actually different than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be like the matches with AJ, the matches with the new Daniel Bryan. But they actually kind of surprised me here because Finn Balor actually took it to him. I don't know if he did, like if he came as close as AJ or the new Daniel Bryan did, but he came pretty damn close. Like, Lesnar had to use his submission move to beat him, not his finisher. So that was pretty interesting right there. And they even went back to like the diverticulitis when he put his ribs into the corner of the announce table and stuff. And Finn hit a lot of dives. He hit the coup de grace. Like, they made Finn look pretty strong in this match. And then afterwards, after Brock taps him out with the Kimura, that was special because Brock hasn't won a match with that move in a while. Afterwards, Lesnar just kills him with German suplexes in the F5. And I really hope this doesn't mean that Finn's just going to go back to, business as usual and, back to opening matches on shows that mean nothing and back to nothing feuds, but we'll have to wait and see. But I thought this match actually was really good. I really enjoyed this match. I'm giving this match 3 3/4.
Yeah, I would agree. This was definitely a little different compared to when he faced AJ Styles and the new Daniel Bryan. And the way they approached this and finished this was a pleasant surprise to me, too. But I kind of saw them treating this a little differently based on how much Paul Heyman has even endorsed Finn Balor. And not just in these Raw promos, too, but he even talks about how Finn Balor is like the future and incredible athlete and stuff like that. He talks about Finn differently versus others.
Yeah.
And yeah, Brock, I feel like, is more motivated when he's working with a smaller guy versus a bigger dude because he actually cares about who he's in the ring with. I think Brock actually probably enjoyed this match, but the whole post beatdown angle was probably just to stay in character. I think it was overkill.
Yeah.
It was okay. Hopefully, it means bigger things for Balor, but we'll see.
Well, the next night didn't really do a good job of easing out, you know.
Yeah, and I guess now we know where he's segregated to. We can only hope this means the demon will come back, but we'll talk about that when we get there.
And then, speaking of endorsing, and this is a little off topic, but Paul Heyman also endorsed Tommaso Ciampa on NXT with his tweet and stuff too.
That was a very interesting tweet too, but I mean, he is not wrong. Ciampa is literally permanently have the future of the business in his hand. If you want to make it in WWE, follow Ciampa. It's not promo, folks. It's the damn truth.
Yeah, exactly. Now we have the men's rumble. So I got to break down all that stuff again. We had Michael Cole, JBL, Corey Graves, and Jerry the Kid Lawler on commentary. What a mess of a commentary team that was. Like,
what the fuck were they thinking there?
Jerry the Kid Lawler, like, I don't know. I feel like he should just stop commentating, but I really can't say this is his fault because he was in a bad dynamic with the four-man team. So
I feel like the only one he actually gelled with for a couple moments was Corey Graves. Ironic, really.
I feel bad for him because he would have done better if it wasn't 4. I think like if it was 3 or they should have like let Graves have a break at least in this match. So
Graves will never get a break. But trust me, we all believe Graves needs a break.
I mean, he got a break during the Cruiserweight match, so that's something. But
true, but so did Michael Cole, so did Renee Young. Everyone gets a break during the Cruiserweights because, again, Cruiserweights really don't matter that much. They're their own entity, but it's not like you really need to watch it. Hashtag 205 Life Matters. But anyway.
So we had the Rumble. Number 1 was Monday Night Raw's Elias, and number 2, we got the first surprise entrant. It was free agent Jeff Jarrett.
Wow.
That was an awesome surprise, considering the fact with the 2 gimmicks that came out. You know, Elias did his typical concert, and then Jeff Jarrett came out. And Elias, I think, turned heel on this show, not Raw, because he did mention, because they were in the baseball stadium, which that was actually really cool. We didn't really talk about that too much. I thought it made the arena look different.
It definitely is a different atmosphere when you consider that you got less acoustics, really, because you have more of an outdoor environment. I also feel like they didn't have to put so much into the set. And hey, it wasn't as generic, even though it was just like an LED board. But I liked it. It was pretty cool. I wouldn't mind them doing this again.
Yeah. And, you know, Elias and Jeff Jarrett does this gimmick where he spells his name out and stuff, which is awesome.
JAFFJRETT. Ain't I great? Yeah,
and then
my friggin' number.
The Elias cheap shots him when they go to perform a song together, which that's kind of disappointing because that would have been the one time Elias could have done a song uninterrupted. So,
for 90 seconds. Don't forget, this is the Rumble.
What was weird though is like they didn't win the bell until Elias cheap shot him. Well, that's kind of not how the Rumble usually works. Usually, once the guys get in the ring, the match is supposed to start. But
yeah, well. Consider this your pre-Rumble moment, just to rebuild the crowd, I guess. I don't know.
But Elias eliminates Jeff Jarrett. And then we had number 3. It was SmackDown's United States Champion Shinsuke Nakamura.
Last year's winner.
Yep. And then you had number 4 was Monday Night Raw's Kurt Angle. He didn't really look that strong in this match, honestly. Like,
no.
Yeah. I read online this was supposed to be Zack Ryder's spot. And maybe they should have just left it with him because this was just, you know, this was a joke.
Here's the utility, Zach. What are you doing with your life, brother?
Nakamura just easily eliminates Kurt Angle, and it was very sad. So then we had number 5. It was SmackDown's Big E. Number 6 was NXT's North American champion, Johnny Gargano. That was an awesome surprise. That was sick.
Loved it. Loved it. He had a good showing, too. Johnny Takeover now owns the Royal Rumble. Johnny Weekend, folks.
Yeah.
He's going to own everything before the year's out.
And then we had number 7 was Monday Night Raw, Jinder Mahal. And Johnny Gargano actually eliminated Jinder Mahal, which was awesome. So,
well, we already knew Jinder Mahal wasn't going to win, okay? Jobber, number 1.
He lasted 30 seconds in the match, it says right here. So,
well, at least he lasted longer than Santino.
Yeah.
And Liv Morgan.
No, yeah, he did. And then number 8 was SmackDown Samoa Joe. He eliminates Big E, which he didn't last very long. So, yeah. He only lasted like 6 minutes. So, and then number 9 was Monday Night Raw's Kurt Hawkins. And then he do a bit with Kurt Hawkins where he's too afraid to get into the ring. So he just hides underneath the ring like Zelina Vega did.
Control C, Control V. Aha!
Number 10 was Monday Night Raw's Seth Rollins. Number 11 was Monday Night Raw's Titus O'Neil. And then we do the bit where Titus O'Neil, messed up at the Greatest Royal Rumble and tripped, where this time he catches himself. But then Kurt Hawkins is under the ring, so he goes after Kurt Hawkins. And Kurt Hawkins pulls the ropes down and eliminates him. And then Kurt Hawkins himself gets eliminated by Samoa Joe. And then number 12 was SmackDown's Kofi Kingston. His Royal Rumble spots were very disappointing this year, I thought. Just because, they were hyping it up and stuff. And the first one, he just saved himself from elimination by, landing his feet on, the LED boards that are set up in the ring and just, moves his body around. And I don't know. I thought that was just kind of disappointing, if you were to ask me. But the later one, I guess, wasn't, but I thought the later one was just weird. We'll get into that. Number 13 was SmackDown's Mustafa Ali, which I thought was pretty cool. Number 14 was Monday Night Raw's Dean Ambrose. He eliminated Johnny Gargano with a Dirty Deeds, and then obviously threw him over the top rope. And then number 15 was Monday Night Raw's No Way Jose. He didn't last long. He lasted 2 seconds. He was just immediately eliminated by Samoa Joe, and then he goes and proceeds to have his fiesta.
Geez, it's the Godfather all over again.
Yep, and then Monday Night Raw's Drew McIntyre is the next entrant, and he just kills him. And his party entourage, or whatever he calls it. I was going to say Rosebud.
Yeah.
I can't say Rosebud because that was something else. So
that was Adam Rose, and that died a long time ago.
Yeah, and then McIntyre looked very dominant in this match. He got a lot of eliminations. Then we had number 17. It was Monday Night Raw's. SmackDown's Xavier Woods, and they Kofi Kingston almost gets out again, but I can't even explain what this is. Maybe you could explain what this other save was with Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods.
Upside down cradle hold? I have no idea. It was definitely a tag team tandem, that's for sure. Because it was I think one person was on their hands, the other one was just walking around. I don't even know.
Yeah.
It was odd. But hey, kudos. He found another way to build another moment, and that's all it was. It was a moment.
And then they just immediately get eliminated.
Yeah.
And then you had number 18. This was awesome. It was NXT United Kingdom NXT UK's United Kingdom champion, Pete Dunne. That was awesome.
I did not see that coming. Wow.
Yeah,
I guess I should have because he was in the crowd last night. I mean, you expect the NXT UK champion to make a cameo on the NXT US brand and not somehow be involved in either a show or the following night. I guess I should have saw this coming, but yeah, this was definitely one of my highlights of the Rumble.
Yeah, and he looked very strong in this match. He broke people's fingers and he hit the bitter end on people.
Yep.
And you got to see him and McIntyre go at it, which you never got to see them go at it because McIntyre was kind of
yeah, I think they've messed with. I think they've had matches on the Indies or encounters on the Indies, but yeah, this was a really cool encounter in the WWE banner. Loved it.
Then you had SmackDown's Andrade come out at number 19. Really hate that they still change his name, but it's just, you know.
I'm just gonna keep saying Andrade Cien. What? I don't give a fuck what WWE does.
Yeah. Then you had number 20 was Monday Night Raw's Apollo Crews. This was a nice surprise. Number 21 was NXT's Aleister Black, and this was awesome because you got to see Aleister Black and Pete Dunne go at it. Pete Dunne broke his fingers, and Aleister Black like popped him back into place. That was awesome.
Seen that, man, that must have hurt.
Yeah.
Tommy and Pete Dunne, they have faced each other before though. They had like a good 20-minute encounter on the Indies, so this was a nice callback.
Yeah. Then you had number 22 was SmackDown Shelton Benjamin. Number 23 was Monday Night Raw's Baron Corbin, and he eliminated Aleister Black, Apollo Crews. I kind of wish he didn't eliminate Aleister Black, but I guess I have to accept that. So,
well, if nothing else, maybe we got a teaser for Aleister Black versus Dean Ambrose, because didn't Aleister Black eliminate Dean Ambrose, I thought?
Yeah, he did, actually.
So, who knows? That might be a teaser for things to come, but then again, it might not be. But anyway, I thought it was a cool spot. Also, shout out to Johnny Gargano, Dean Ambrose, Ohio boys like me.
Yep. And then you have number 24 was SmackDown's Jeff Hardy, and I don't know what was going on with him, but he was like selling his ribs like he'd been hurt or something. So that was interesting. And then you have number 25 was SmackDown's Rey Mysterio. They did like a big spot with I think Andrade, Seth Rollins, and McIntyre, where like they did like a big Tower of Doom spot with them. I think.
Yes, that was brutal. Tower of Doom, nobody wins in that, and the guy on top, he always takes it the worst.
And then you have, which I don't know why the guy on top does it, but I guess they have to do it. Then you had number 26. It was Monday Night Raw's Intercontinental Champion Bobby Lashley. Seth Rollins just immediately eliminates him. He didn't even like get into the ring and do anything. He just was immediately.
Why was he my number? That was freaking awful.
What number one? Because I didn't see that video yet.
It was Greg Cherry's number 10.
Of course.
And we already know who number that is. So finish the Rumble and you'll know your answer.
Yeah. And then Lashley kills Seth Rollins. He murders him. He puts him through the announce table.
Yeah, Shades of 2001, where Big Show tries and destroys The Rock.
Yeah. Or like 2008 when Undertaker destroyed Snitsky.
Yeah.
And then, which obviously was kind of funny because Snitsky didn't even eliminate the Undertaker. He just happened to.
He did. He just took him out.
Then you had number 27 was Monday Night Raw's Braun Strowman. Number 28 was Monday Night Raw's Dolph Ziggler. This was funny because literally that same day, or like the day before, he did like an interview saying he was taking time off at WWE, and then he showed up in the Rumble. That was funny.
Well, the funny thing is, last year we thought he retired, and what happened? He showed up at last year's Rumble, and even Cole said, "I thought he retired or something." We don't know what the hell Dolph Ziggler is doing. You know what? I'm just going to go out on a limb right now and say he's trolling us again. He'd probably be signed with WWE.
Yeah. And he eliminates Drew McIntyre, which didn't tie in anything on Raw. But
it kind of did with their past, because what was the last time you saw Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler? Inside a steel cage, and Drew destroyed him.
Yeah. And then you had number 29 was SmackDown's Randy Orton, and he had some nice RKOs and stuff in this match. That was cool. And then you had number 30 was supposed to be... Actually, I'll let you break down number 30, because I know you love that, so...
So number 30 was supposed to be R-Truth, but of course he comes out trying to do his rap. You all know what time it is. I'm not going to say it. But who comes out and takes him out from behind and inserts themselves, keyword themselves, in the Royal Rumble? Blah. Nia Jax. What the fuck was this about? Was it really history? Are you really trying to put Nia over? Are you just making us wake up because of how much we hate her? So basically, she goes into the ring and says that she's going to win this. And the men are like, what the fuck are you doing in here? So we have some stare downs. And how the hell? Mustafa Ali gets eliminated by her. But eventually, she gives like a spot to, I think, Rey Mysterio to do a 619 on somebody. And then just yanks his head off. And as she tries to go eliminate like Rey and stuff like that, everybody just, thank God, loved it. Everybody just friggin' uses their finishers. There was a super kick, there was a 619, then my favorite spot, a beautiful RKO by Randy Orton. Bye-bye, Nia. Let me just say this before you finish out the Rumble. I am fine with men and women wrestling in the same ring in the same match. Intergender wrestling is fine. Intergender conflict is not. Wrestling, you're not in there to hurt the person. You're there to put on a show and you trust one another in the ring. So obviously they chose Nia because, oh, she's the biggest, so she could probably take these bumps. Maybe this was predetermined. I don't know. Would I want this to happen again with Nia? Probably not. But is this a teaser for intergender wrestling? I highly doubt because of WWE. Maybe like they're doing that mixed match challenge and make it more like intergender type involved. But overall, it was weird. It was what the fuck. But I love the outcome of it. And that's all I have to say on that moment. Simple as that.
And then the final 6 was, I think it was Nia Jax, Randy Orton, Rey Mysterio, Seth Rollins, Braun Strowman, Andrade, and Dolph Ziggler. I think it's actually the final 7. So
yeah, that's pretty much, yeah. Because again, Nia, everybody stopped finding her like,
yeah, I think Nia was out first before, and Nia Jax was out first, and then Randy Orton eliminated Rey Mysterio. Andrade eliminated Randy Orton. So I wonder if that's setting up a future WrestleMania match. I'm really not sure. And the final 4 was actually Andrade, Braun Strowman, Dolph Ziggler, and Seth Rollins. I never would have guessed that in a million years.
Me neither.
So Braun eliminates Dolph and Andrade, and then it's down to Seth and Braun, which I thought was a nice final too, because really any of them could have won.
Well, we all know how much Vince wanted to put on Brock and Braun, but he's had mixed feelings about that. And then we all know how much Triple H endorses Seth Rollins and would want to put on like Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar, which would be a nice callback to WrestleMania 31, because technically they did face each other one-on-one for the Universal title, but there was never a finish to it because The Undertaker came back, and we had that nostalgia match at SummerSlam all the way through Hell in a Cell. But anyway, I digress. And yeah, the finish was, as we all expected to win, Seth freaking Rollins. Ironically, both people who call themselves the man won. They won the Rumbles.
Yeah. I went Facebook and stuff the next day and stuff. People were pissed about Seth Rollins winning too, because they wanted like a new guy to win, and it's like, I feel like the IWC sometimes just can't make up their minds about what they want. So
it's like Daniel Bryan says, and I agree with him. We're fickle, but in my opinion, the right 2 people won. That being said, if the wrestling community want to argue about it all the way up to WrestleMania, look me up on Twitter or heck, start a conversation. Bottom line, I'm fine with the outcomes.
But that's the star rating for the men's Rumble.
Yeah. And hey, the following night, Braun said congratulations, so it looks like everyone's fine as far as that goes.
Yeah.
I thought it was a good Rumble match. Compared to last year's, though, let's see. You had a surprise spots with, like, the Hurricane, Goldust, John Cena. He was in there. He had a nice little spot with Goldust. And another thing, John Cena was supposed to be in the Royal Rumble, but, and this is something we didn't pick up on the kickoff show either, he's apparently was injured to the point he couldn't be in the Rumble. Braun took his place. That means Braun took John Cena was number 27. Would we have gotten the same outcome? Would John Cena put over Seth Rollins like John Cena put over Finn Balor on Monday Night Raw in that qualifying match? I don't know. It's hard to say. But anyway, congrats to Seth Rollins. I think the right person won. And as far as grade, because of the Nia thing, what the fuck? That 4.25.
Sure. And then we got to grade the show. That's a tough one to do. I'll do my grading first.
Go for it.
I'm going to give it a B. I thought it was a really good show. Here's why it's a B. Because I remember last year, I loved the Rumble. But then, look where we were this year. Nakamura was very inconsequential on this show when he won the Rumble last year.
Right.
I guess Asuka, though, I wasn't as pissed about because obviously she looked dominant in this show. But they're just now rebuilding Asuka when, you know, when she was like being buried pretty much a good majority of 2018. So
she survived bad booking all the way from WrestleMania 34 to freaking TLC.
Yeah.
That is 8 months of terrible booking. She lost to Carmella because of Ellsworth. They brought fucking Ellsworth back to make sure Carmella kept the damn title.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say, I'm gonna say B. Now, if I ever revisit this, like in a retro wrestling review series at some point or something, and obviously I'll feel pretty good. I might change my grade, but I'm gonna say a B right now. It was a really good show. I think it was a little long, and then obviously you had, some weird stuff on this show. So I'm gonna say a B.
Yeah, I agree. Like I said, we gave Takeover A-. Takeover was my show for me overall. The Rumble was fun. It suffered because of time length. I still feel like 205 Live matters, and the Cruiserweight title should be the main show. Fuck the SmackDown Live tag team division picture, tag team title, tag team champions. Some shows suffered due to the time placement. I thought AJ Daniel Bryan could have been a lot better if the crowd was more involved in the match and cared about it. But again, they were coming off the Women's Rumble. Nia, what the fuck? It was a B for me as well. But overall, still an incredible weekend. That average is still to around a B+.
Now on to Raw.
Jeez.
I actually liked Raw this week.
Yeah, it had its moments, but Raw is Raw. I believe Blue. I always find SmackDown Live's a better show. But yeah, let's start bringing down Raw.
So it took place on January 28th, 2019. Obviously, you had the same people on commentary that commentated all the Raw matches on, the Rumble. It opened up with Seth Rollins. He cuts in emotional promo about how he won the Royal Rumble, which I thought was very good. And he talks about how he has now two choices. He can either go after someone that he considers his friend, the new Daniel Bryan, or he can go after Brock Lesnar. And he said that when the time is right, he'll make his choice. And then Triple H comes out. He congratulates Seth Rollins. He gets emotional, saying that he believed that he could do all this stuff. And then he says a weird comment. He said that Seth Rollins had to pick his opponent by Raw tonight because just everything in WWE is constantly changing, so we can't have you not make your decision. This makes no sense to me because Royal Rumble winners have literally waited until like the last pay-per-view before WrestleMania. Like Asuka last year didn't decide who she was facing until Fastlane, so
correct.
That didn't make any sense at all, but whatever. And then Dean Ambrose comes out. And he talks about how Triple H really doesn't believe in him because he kept him from coming to WWE after they were trying to bust their ass to get in. Triple H kind of like throws a low blow saying that, you're the one that turned your back on your brothers the same night Roman Reigns announced leukemia.
I had to bring that up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Dean Ambrose wants a match right now against Seth. Actually, I think it was Seth that says he wants the match with Dean Ambrose. So Triple H goes backstage to, I guess, like tell Vince about it. So Dean gets in his face and says, "What do you have to go tell your dad that you have to do what you can't? You don't have the balls to make the match yourself." So he says, "Get a referee out here." They have a match. They had a good match. You can never really go on with a Seth Rollins Dean Ambrose match, not included in TLC. But Seth Rollins wins with the stomp. And Ambrose sold the stomp really well. And then afterwards, he gets on the mic and talks about how he's been in the WWE for years, but then he gets interrupted by Nia Jax and Tamina Snuka. And, Nia Jax pushes him out of the ring, and I don't know what that's leading to, but the booking of Dean Ambrose has been really weird the past couple of days, and I was wondering why. I actually really wasn't, because obviously it was kind of typical stuff with Dean Ambrose, but this stuff I was kind of wondering why, because he was kind of very inconsequential on these shows. But we found out that Dean Ambrose is leaving WWE. And it's really weird because the news sites reported it first, and the WWE eventually just themselves released it. What are your thoughts on this news story about Dean Ambrose?
It's definitely an odd time for it to come out. But then again, ever since AEW was full-fledged announced he got to start that roster, WWE has literally been under a weird wave of what I've heard some broadcasters, including JD, call the AEW effect, where people are like, "Oh, wow, the grass looks so much greener in AEW. Maybe I should go to AEW. Hell, maybe AEW is better than WWE. Maybe WWE is not the go all, beat all, top all. So it's a weird story, but I can understand based on his booking how he would want to leave the company. It's been said he doesn't care about this hokey shit. His words, not mine. So he's been through enough of that. He's tired of it. So is it a work? Is it true? I mean, it's still back and forth right now. Like a game of Pong, it's hard to say. That being said, I enjoyed the opening. I love how interactive the crowd was. I feel like they were driving the show every time that the question was brought up. They basically said in unison in response, like on the daddy comment, they're like, yes, he does. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. But yeah, Dean and Seth, they had a nice bout, but what you expect with those two incredible in-ring competitors. I mean, it was better probably than the TLC one because the crowd didn't go, this is boring. I think they're still suffering from that. But as far as the story, as where would they even fall in this, I don't know. But then again, Madison Rain, she's in Ring of Honor, and her husband, Josh Matthews, he's an Impact. So, I mean, couples do work between different places. Mickie James' husband, I believe, is the NWA 10 pounds of gold like heavyweight champion or something like that. And Mickie James, veteran in WWE. So I could definitely see Dean wanting to leave. As far as where he would go, AEW or Impact have to be your two. But for now, I'm just going to see what next week's Raw brings. As far as the next segment where they almost whipped the I Quit angle from Kevin Owens back in Toronto after he faced Seth Rollins in the Open IC title challenge, it's hard to say. Nia, I don't know what the hell that was about. Yeah. More heat, I guess. More intergender wrestling teasing. I don't freaking know. But as far as the story, I'm not sure yet how to determine it. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't really know either. Because they could just be pulling the rug over our eyes, too. Which, because it's really weird, because WWE, I don't think it's ever, like, come out and talked about it themselves when all these news stories are. They kind of keep that quiet after a while. So that's kind of, that's very odd.
Well, and Kathy Kelly or whoever else, some other dude, they do like the coming up tonight or this week or breaking news. Like Scott T. Stanford does breaking news. They never tell you about this person's leaving. So, I mean, it's really weird.
Yeah. Then we had Nia Jax and Tamina Snuka versus Alexa Bliss and Mickie James in an Elimination Chamber qualifying match. Because they're doing qualifying matches and the winners get into the women's tag team title match. This match I didn't really think was that good. I thought Alexa Bliss, you could definitely see Alexa Bliss was fairly rusty, but she's also wrestling Tamina and Nia Jax. It doesn't help.
You were Nia Jax.
Yeah. Plus, too, she's probably scared because I heard Alexa got injured again, so thanks a lot, Nia Jax. So Alexa and Mickie lose to the double Samoan drop by Nia Jax, and Nia Jax and Tamina Snuka in the chamber match, and because I'm in it, my interest isn't very high now. So
here's the scary thing, though. I can almost see WWE making them the inaugural Women's Tag Team Champions just because how much we would freaking hate it.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll let you talk about all the Kurt Angle stuff, too, because, well, maybe you like it. I don't know. I didn't like it, so.
I'm not sure how to interpret the Kurt Angle thing. The dude's 50 years old. Dude, he just can't wrestle as well as he used to. Is he being used to put over Baron Corbin now? I know he wanted to put over Drew McIntyre. He asked for that type of match. He asked for that type of finish. I guess we'll learn the next chapter of this come next week, according to reports that we found out that he's going to be talking about his stay in WWE. But as far as the Kurt Angle stuff with him facing Baron Corbin, prior history, general manager conflict, blah, 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 I did not care much for it, nor did I care much for this match.
Yeah. It really is weird, too, because the whole purpose of doing this match, I thought, would have just so that Kurt Angle can get his revenge on Baron Corbin after all the stuff Baron Corbin's done to him, but
yeah, but you would think he would already have gotten enough revenge when he cost Baron Corbin his job or helped Baron Corbin his job back at TLC, which, as far as we know, Baron Corbin is still complaining about like a freaking baby, at least is what his character does anyway, which is why he's still wrestling in street clothes. He even came out in, not street clothes, business casual. He came out business casual in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Dude, go back to jeans and a freaking leather jacket. It's over. You're no longer the authority. We're the authority. Oh, who am I kidding? Fuck that. The McMahons are the authority. Okay? Stop it.
But I didn't like any of the stuff with the Kurt Angle, so not having that.
Yeah.
Then you had Finn Balor backstage, and he walks by a few wrestlers. Heavy Machinery was one of them. I thought they were awesome, so. Then you had the Revival versus Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins. The Revival win with Shadow Machine. I'm okay with this because this continues the Kurt Hawkins losing streak storyline, so I really didn't have an issue with it. So I actually liked all this. I thought this was good. What did you think?
I wonder how the Revival feels about this, because we all know the Revival has been booked into oblivion as well. But hey, Zack Ryder, congratulations, you're on Raw again. Kurt Hawkins, congratulations, you're on Raw again. The Edgeheads are back as a tag team. Will they actually pull a win together as a team? I highly doubt it. It looks like the only place they actually can pull off a win is main event, which nobody watches. But anyway, it was nice.
I did like too how they even like showed us the history of them as a tag team. You know, kind of.
Yes, that was a beautiful callback. Because again, folks, believe it or not, these are former tag team champions, and they were former running mates with Edge.
Yeah, exactly.
They're actually really good athletes in the ring. It's not. It's just now Kurt Hawkins, the biggest stake to his glory is he's got a 200+ losing streak. Zack Ryder's the longest reigning internet champion and has his own little podcast too, because he and Kurt are best friends as well. So I mean, but as far as what this does for the Revival, I think it does absolutely nothing. I wouldn't surprise me if they do it again next week, but I guess it's better than Lucha House Party rules matches. But who's benefiting from this? Who's really going over? I think nobody.
I mean, it keeps Kurt Hawkins' storyline going. I get entertained to watch his match too because you think like he's gonna like win and then he doesn't win. So,
look, unless they give Kurt Hawkins his win after WrestleMania this year, he's not winning a match this year.
Right. Then you had the new Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan backstage, which I guess he's just Rowan now. So I gotta remember to say that.
Right. Another victim of the single name curse. Continue.
The new Daniel Bryan talks about facing Seth Rollins and says that like Seth Rollins wants to burn stuff down, but all he's doing is causing fossil fuels and air pollution to be released into the atmosphere. I thought that was awesome. The new Daniel Bryan was awesome. So
the new Daniel Bryan is one of the best things right now in WWE to this day. And even when he's not like in ring, he stays to character. Social media, outside interviews.
Yeah,
it's brilliant. It's perfect. I absolutely love it.
And then they had a video for like UNICEF where it showed Bailey and I think Apollo Crews doing stuff for charity because it's planned.
And then it was like who was it? It was Seth and Sasha. I think that surprised a kid that fainted. I thought that was pretty funny. But hey, there's your monthly sponsorship and feel good WWE do a good deed moment. Shown on Raw.
I'll let you talk about Elias performing because you probably liked this.
Well, this was funny because this just affirms the from face to heel again. I always enjoy Elias. I like his character. I like the whole What with Elias thing. It went a little over the top when Jeff Jarrett came out. And then I thought, oh, we're going to get Jeff Jarrett versus Elias set up for WrestleMania at this point. But then again, I'm like thinking, this is too soon to set up a nostalgia match, especially a nostalgia match like that. But then I'm thinking, oh, Vince Russo's here. Maybe we'll get Guitar on a Pole match. I don't know. But then what happens after that? We're going to get a song. Road Dogg comes out. And we literally get with Raw karaoke with My Baby Tonight. Renee didn't know the words. Yep. Renee, what's wrong with you?
Especially too, like
I'm guilty of singing it. Okay.
I even like to when Road Dogg even said, "I don't know the words either."
I also like how Road Dogg tried to go back to his Attitude Era type shtick, but he also said, "Well, it's a PG show. It's PG. I'm gonna keep it PG." And sure you are. By the way, thank you, Road Dogg, for endorsing the man. One of the smartest things you've ever done and worn. But this is a fun segment. I thought it was pretty funny. Elias bashing the bull for guitar. And, yeah, now I guess we know what Elias is doing next, and Elias is full-fledged heel again.
Yeah.
But it was a pretty funny segment, I thought. It was okay. It definitely woke me up.
I definitely thought, too, I don't even hate the fact that Elias is just randomly a heel again. I don't know why. I just don't hate it. I just kind of accept it.
WWE just loves turning people face and heel anymore. Kayfabe beat dead. I mean, what does it matter, I guess? I mean, Elias is pretty good as a face, but I think he fits better as a heel in general. So
yeah, I do.
See where it goes from here.
And then you have like just 3 segments in a row of shit. Natalya backstage, and she was supposed to team up with Emma Moon in this qualifying match, but she's actually legitimately injured. She tore up her shoulder. No, her bicep.
Required surgery because she said that in exclusive.
Yeah.
Get well soon, Ember.
Dana Brooke comes up and, pretty much she just knows that Natalya just happened to pick her because she needed a partner. So Dana Brooke said she's not going to let her down, and that was that. Mojo Rawley's talking to himself in a mirror, saying that I don't even know. I don't even know what the
He's trying to be Joseph Connors from NXT UK. Going to try to break all the shiny toys because I've been forgotten. Mojo, you've been forgotten ever since Gronk helped you win the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. All right? Good luck trying to be something relevant again, but I don't think this is going to work for you, brother.
And then you had Dana Brooke and Natalya versus Sarah Logan and Liv Morgan with Ruby Riott ringside in an Elimination Chamber qualifying match.
Hey, I'm glad the Riot Squad won. I could take the Riot Squad as valid candidates to win the tag team titles. Hell, if they're not going to be cross-brand or they are going to be cross-brand, I would like Iconics or Riot Squad to win the titles. I don't really want to see, nor do I think anyone else deserves to win those titles. But that's just me.
The match wasn't good, though.
The match wasn't good. But I'm happy with the two that are in the chamber, hoping that they are one of the candidates to win. So there you go. And
then I'll let you break down Ronda Rousey's segment this week.
Well, this was she was definitely thrown into the fire, dealing with a very hostile environment. She was visibly rattled, you could tell. But once again, she's talking about how she was a champion. She respects Sasha, despite the whole four horsewoman thing. But she says, I'm a fine champion, and I'm going to come out here, open challenge. And I think at this point, she was just literally didn't know what to do with herself. I think she was about to have an anxiety attack, breaking apart. I think Bayley came out for the save. We had open challenge match, Bayley versus Ronda. First time ever encountered. Same ring gear, by the way. Shout out to the Power Rangers. Nice gear, Ronda. And not bad kabuki makeup either. I always got sick of that. But yeah, those two had a nice back and forth bout. And afterwards was my moment of the night. And I think pretty much the reason Raw was the highlight again. Becky and the crowd just popped, cheered. You saw zoom-ins on the crowd like, oh my gosh, she's here. Yep. Limping with the leg and all that. Comes into the ring, says, I'll find my way back to you. I don't need time to decide. I choose you. Biggest pop of the night. And then Ronda, she tries to come back with her own straight fire. Eventually, she gets the point across, slams the mic on the ground. But it's official now. We got Becky versus Ronda. Thank God. Keep it that way. Don't add Charlotte. Make it the main event of Mania. And I like also the exclusive, still teasing the Four Horsemen thing. Not seen on Raw, but you can see it on WWE's YouTube page. Bayley and Becky, they hold up the four. So, again, a teaser of things to come. Love the segment. Kudos on Ronda on how she handled herself. She almost came out like Rock, stunning over himself when he was doing promos with CM Punk. But love the outcome of it. Looking forward to these two facing each other one-on-one.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. With every
there was one comment I don't like about this, and it's just a minor thing. That Ronda Rousey continually says that Becky Lynch was just training when she was like on top of the world, but apparently Ronda Rousey doesn't get that like Becky Lynch was like tearing the house down in NXT like when she was I don't know. It's just kind of like
Raw is a Vince-driven product, and to Vince, NXT doesn't exist.
Yeah. Then Seth Rollins is backstage. Braun Strowman comes up and, gives
him the handshake.
Respect. Then we have Braun Strowman versus Drew McIntyre. McIntyre actually got some offense on Strowman, which is a pretty big deal because that never happens in his matches. He typically wins and squashes. So.
Yeah, I figured these two going at each other would be a good match, and then we saw what happened.
I forget exactly the finish. Actually, I think it was a double countout or something like that.
Yeah, because Corbin came into play. DQ.
Yeah. I didn't hate this, but it's kind of like, what are you doing with Braun Strowman, and what are you doing with Drew McIntyre? And why are you going back to McIntyre?
Yeah, here's what I think what's going to happen. We're going to get freaking Kurt and Braun versus Corbin and Drew.
Yeah, I'm not interested in that.
At the Elimination Chamber.
And then you have, you have Corbin and McIntyre back together again. I thought this was supposed to be a new era, so...
Well, we're back under 2017 again, the end of 2018 again. Again, I'm pretty much out of the Becky thing. I was just like, meh.
Yeah. Seth Rollins' decision. Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman come out and they say that he should have a match with the new Daniel Bryan so he could have like a nice grappling match and he won't get hurt. And then obviously Seth Rollins comes out and chooses Brock. He doesn't say he does, but this was pretty much implied when he interrupted him. And he attacks Brock Lesnar. Lesnar gets the advantage and lays him out with not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, but 6 F5s. Might have been 7, but I didn't keep track. One of them.
I don't know if there's any significance to the number of F5s he laid him out with, besides Seth just saying, "Is that all you got?" But yeah, it was really odd how Brock basically sold his Raw segment, and B, how Seth basically confirmed his decision. I feel like also he missed something else on Raw, but who cares? But anyway, yeah,
I forgot one segment actually, the Finn Balor segment actually.
Oh yeah, that's right. Damn it, that's right. Finn is mid card now.
Yeah.
Freaking goes against Lashley. Lashley talks about how didn't you get eliminated like immediately?
Right.
Basically, Bobby, he beats the crap out of him. I guess we're gonna get Bobby versus Finn now for the IC title at some point.
Probably Elimination Chamber or something.
Wouldn't surprise me.
I can't believe I forgot about that. Though. I don't even have it in my notes. I can't believe I completely forgot about that. So
I was thinking like, okay, wait, there's another title on Raw. I know they don't care about tag teams. I'm pretty sure there wasn't like another tag team squash match. So yeah, that was the only other segment I could think of. So yeah, I guess Finn now will be mid-carder to the IC title. So we'll see what happens there. Hey, maybe Finn as IC champion will actually be a good thing if it happens. I don't know.
Yeah, I thought Raw was a good show though. I felt like it was an improvement over most week. It had its moments. I liked, Seth and like his whole storyline throughout the show. I liked Elias's segment. I liked the new Daniel Bryan segment. I liked the Revival versus Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins. I liked Strowman versus Drew. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. So, and then I liked.
So, yeah, it was above average show. It was okay.
Yeah.
C plus.
I'll give it a. I might give it a C plus too, actually, because talking about it more, there was more stuff that pissed me off than that made me happy. But I'll give it a C plus.
And in general, I'm more pissed off at Rob. It wasn't for the fact that I got people to talk to, and I talk a little bit more and just try and reinvent my invigoration more for Raw on social media. I probably wouldn't even be watching Monday nights. But then again, as a lifelong fan, I am kind of committing myself to it. So I don't know. But yeah. Anyway, that was Raw. It was all right.
And then we have SmackDown. It was the day after Raw, January.
It was Sorrow World, to say the least.
It wasn't bad though, but it was
it was just like, what the hell? Anyway,
Becky Lynch comes out and does a promo talking about pretty much responding to Ronda Rousey and stuff like that, which was very good.
I love the comment how she says, "I started off at the kickoff, and now I'm the main event." She's self-made. She's self-built. She's so original. She's the most over thing in the freaking company, and she's in the right spot where she belongs. And then the highlight of that segment, I know you'll talk about the shopper, but the highlight of the segment for me, damn that sucker punch.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah, Becky Lynch sucker punches Charlotte Flair when Charlotte Flair comes out and takes credit for everything that Becky Lynch has done. So this leads to a brawl. I like the brawl, and yeah, I like this. I hope it doesn't lead to Charlotte Flair getting added to the match because,
please no.
But I think it will. But I like the segment; it was good.
With every fiber of my being, every damn dirt sheet out there, don't make this a three-way. It deserves to be a one-on-one and deserves to close the show because the crowd will not react negatively to it like they did Brock versus Roman. Just saying.
Like the only way this match could have not closed the show is if Roman Reigns had pulled a miracle and came back at the Royal Rumble this year. But since that didn't happen, now it has to close the show.
Right, well, let's not bring up Roman, by the way, anymore. Because we know WWE's going to do that. Let's leave it where it is. Roman get well soon. That's the last time I'm mentioning his name.
Yeah. Then we had the Zawa World right here. It was R-Truth with Carmella versus Shinsuke Nakamura for the United States title. R-Truth cuts a promo saying that, he was granted this match because he got robbed out of the Royal Rumble because he said he would have won it. Sorry, R-Truth, but you weren't winning the Rumble, so...
One moment I was rapping, the next moment I was napping. R-Truth, incredible promo.
Yeah.
Incredible comedic character. That's his stick. But you get a U.S. title match because of this?
Yeah. And then he wins with a roll-up, but, you know, it was like a quick roll up when Nakamura was surprised.
His shoulders was not down on the mat. And you could even tell R-Truth was confused by this because what happened after the freaking decision? He was still going after Nakamura.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Then Rusev comes out and thinks this is a joke, even more of a joke than Nakamura having the belt. So, you know, they have a match for the belt. R-Truth beats him with a roll up, and then Rusev and Nakamura just kill R-Truth. And I don't know what's going on here. This definitely didn't revive the U.S. title at all. If anything, it killed it more.
Here's my opinion on this. So Rusev Day is probably dead at this point because at first the crowd was chanting Rusev Day when Rusev came out, of course. And then he started going against R-Truth in that promo, calling him a joke and all this stuff. And the crowd started turning. Then again, this is like a WrestleMania crowd, so it's Bizarro Land in general. But anyway, yeah, I guess now we're back to heel Rusev and Nakamura. The common enemy brings common enemies together. I guess if nothing else, at least with the U.S. title on R-Truth, you got a character that will show up every week, make you laugh. The title will show up every week, and hopefully now it'll be involved in storylines. But I don't know what to make of all this at this point. This was absolutely bizarre to me, and that's all I got to say about that.
And I don't like that Rusev's a heel yet. He just turned face like not even that long ago, too. So.
But to be fair, ever since the whole Aiden English breakup and the closeout to that storyline, Rusev Day truly has never felt the same, nor been as hot.
Then you have Becky Lynch backstage, and Kayla Braxton comes up and, wonders what her health status is because she refused medical attention. Well, that was like a common theme on the show, too. No one wanted medical attention on this show, so. So Becky Lynch says that she's fine, but she's not going to miss, like, another show because, I like this. It kind of shows Becky Lynch is hurt, but doesn't want any medical attention.
Yeah, I just thought more of a work versus her actually being hurt. The last thing we need is Becky out at WrestleMania.
R-Truth is backstage, and he refuses medical attention. Then we were supposed to have a match with Rey Mysterio and Samoa Joe, but it never happens because Zelina Vega comes out and says that Rey Mysterio wanted her banned from ringside because he's distracted by her. And this was used as a quote-unquote distraction. So Andrade comes out, attacks him, and lays him out with a Hammerlock DDT. I thought this was a good segment. I think this is going to build to a match in Elimination Chamber, and I'd actually be all right with that. What would you think of this?
Like I said, these two, they are worthy of a pay-per-view caliber match. I honestly think the Falls Count should have been on the pay-per-view. At least you wouldn't have fucking commercial breaks and mute tiny window. I loved it, and I loved how she played into her promo, too. Selena saying, "You're distracted by me." Ray's just constantly looking, listening to her. What happened? Andrade comes up behind. Andrade Cien Almas comes. Fuck you, WWE. Andrade Cien Almas comes up from behind and friggin' attacks Rey Mysterio. Tries to pull up the Three Amigos. Shout out to Rey Mysterio's best friend, who recently went to go see Eddie's grave after like 13 years. And yeah, lays him out with a hammerlock DDT. Andrade Cien Almas looks like $1 million. I could see these two going at each other again, one-on-one. Love the segment.
Then Rusev's backstage, and Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson come up, and they're not happy what they did with R-Truth, so they challenge him to a match, and Nakamura comes up and accepts, so that's going to be a match next week, which is weird, because I thought it made it seem like the match was going to happen tonight with the way this segment was playing out, but...
I don't know what's going on with WWE and trying to build strange bedfellows, besides the fact that I read a report that they're trying to, I guess, reinvent and make the tag team divisions seem more relevant. Maybe this is the way of doing it. If it is, it's not a damn good way of doing it. I don't see this working out well. And Good Brothers, you were in Bullet Club. You freaking destroyed everybody. Are you kidding me? What the hell? Yeah. Again, Bizarro World. I'm like, moving on.
I know you love
this meltdown and what. I'm like,
I know you love this. I'm gonna let you talk about the best tag team in the world celebration.
Fuck my ass! Are you kidding me? So instead of getting a match with women or getting another actually match, because this was more promo heavy. This wasn't even like a match-filled show. We get an in-ring segment, the longest segment I figured of the night, with freaking Shane and Miz talking about how thank you for this. I got this video package for you. Shades of what the Miz did for Shane for his birthday, and then the ultimate gift: your father coming out to Miz's music, wearing a shirt with his mustache and all that nonsense. He says, "I love you, son, I'm proud of you." And then they get an embrace hug, and then that's it. Then we finally get into a match. What The fuck? Why was this on the show? Why are these two tag team champs? Besides this crowd, what fucking crowd in America would give a damn about these two as champs? Are you kidding me? I will say this, though. At least when they were looking at the match, figuring out who was going to challenge them for the titles next, they weren't looking at a weird-ass angle. They were looking at TV head-on. Yep. But anyway, this segment was not needed on the show. It could have been like a simple thing that happened after the Royal Rumble at a restaurant somewhere, just freaking recapped by the commentary.
And then we had the match. It was the Usos versus Heavy Machinery versus, I think it was Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, or Kofi Kingston and Big E, I don't remember.
And New Day, just call it what it is. New Day, Usos, The Bar, Heavy Machinery. The only pleasant thing about this was Heavy Machinery was on SmackDown Live. Once again, the same three tag teams. We didn't have Good Brothers in this. We didn't have Sanity in this. Where the fuck is Sanity?
Yeah. They should have put the... Because Heavy Machinery shouldn't have lost. It was too early for them to be getting pinned and stuff. That was just... shouldn't have happened.
Well, I will say this. At least their first elimination was New Day, and Heavy Machinery was the ones that eliminated New Day.
Right, yeah.
The longest reigning tag team champs. So hopefully that'll lead to bigger, better things. I think Heavy Machinery had a good showing here. It exposed the crowd to what Heavy Machinery can do. So hopefully it means bigger, better things for them. Hopefully they don't suffer like Sanity.
And then the Usos win, which I actually was pretty surprised about. I guess this is going to be like a storyline because if they beat the best tag team on SmackDown, the best tag team in the world can just claim they're the best tag team. So
yeah. Well, that's what I'm hoping. Usos beats the Elimination Chamber. We're done with that. But if the best tag team in the world beats the official best tag team on SmackDown Live, the roster is even more buried than I thought.
Yeah.
Bottom line, get those titles off Shane and Miz. Don't give me Usos versus New Day again. It's already been done. I hope Usos win. Then Sanity comes out and destroys them. We get Sanity versus Usos, and Sanity goes over. Something different needs to happen, and a legitimate team needs to be the tag team champs.
Then I'll let you break down this segment. Actually, I'll break down this segment. Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville get interviewed, and we find out why.
Oh God!
Mandy Rose
has forgot about that.
Actually,
go ahead, break it down. Break down this soap opera dramatization for me.
I don't know. You got the glasses. You already had the glasses off, though. So.
No. This is all you. I've vented enough. I'm not gonna overvent this.
So Mandy Rose said that the reason, pretty much, she's been trying to ruin Naomi's relationship is because she ruined hers. They play a clip back from Tough Enough when Team Bad showed up on Tough Enough, and Naomi sent Tamina to do the splat. I think this is when I stopped watching Tough Enough because I just hated it at this point. So
we don't need that back.
And Mandy Rose claimed that after that night, her boyfriend broke up with her. Which I don't know if that's actually true, but obviously I know it's a storyline, but I don't know if her boyfriend broke up with her in real life. So, if he did, then he made a drastic mistake. So, and then Mandy Rose said that her mission is to make Naomi's life a living hell. No, Naomi's marriage end. But they also announced that they were in the women's tag team elimination chamber match. But that makes no sense because they just didn't even have a qualifying match. They just announced themselves in the match, and the little graphic showed up, and they were just in it. And they said they're not focused right now on Naomi. It's the last thing on her list. She's gonna win the women's elimination chamber and all that. So
if any team should have qualified from SmackDown, it should have been the freaking Iconics because they're the only legitimate tag team on SmackDown Live.
Yeah, this segment, I hate this Mandy Rose Naomi storyline. Can we? I like how WWE for once just pretend this storyline never existed but I don't know. What do you think of this segment?
Again, it was literally a dramatization soap opera brought to life, where Tamina was expelled from Beautiful and Dangerous, and they're just pointing out how Naomi just tells us, splash her, splash her, splash her. Yeah. I mean, this was ridiculous. And then the most ridiculous thing following this was Corey Graves just burying this on commentary to the point that you wanted to mute your TV because you didn't give a fuck what the hell Corey Graves was saying. Oh my God.
The new Daniel Bryan was backstage. I forget why I wrote this down, so because I think he did something significant. He took a burger from somebody or something, threw it in the trash or something.
He just literally just swatted out of a person's hand.
Yeah. And then the new Daniel Bryan, he changes the climate. He comes out and he talks about retaining at the Royal Rumble and said that he saved the planet. Thank you, Daniel Bryan. You saved the planet. And he says that now we don't have to worry anymore about all the environmental problems. So I guess like anytime we hear on the news that there's something bad going on, I'm not going to believe it now because if the new Daniel Bryan retains his belt, then we're good. We're all set.
I love the fact that he asked the audience who won the Rumble, and the one thing they all said was Becky, Becky, yeah. Becky.
And Eric Rowan comes out.
Damn it.
And he had a backpack over his back. I thought that was going to be his gimmick, but I was mistaken. The new Daniel Bryan said that he's going to change the look of the WWE Championship, and he's going to make it eco-friendly. So he unveils the championship, and I liked it. You know, I know a lot of people don't like this belt because they think it looks ugly, but I think that's kind of the point. I don't think we're supposed to like this belt. So, and I actually like this because he said he was going to do this at TLC, and he did it, and I actually like this, which means I think he's going to be champ for a while. But I like this. I like the new belt. It fits his gimmick, and like I said, if people hate this belt, then the belt's doing its job. So,
it's got people talking, that's for sure. It fits his gimmick perfectly, in my opinion. The one thing that we also need to mention is what he did with the old belt and how he went towards talking about this new belt. How this leather was made from a cow named Daisy.
Right.
Daisy loved life, but she didn't get to live life that long because she became someone's burger and all that fun jazz. I love Daniel Bryan, amazing promo. And then at one point, the crowd's like, "Thank you, Daisy," chanting Daisy, and like, "Recycle, recycle."
Right.
And he basically, Alondra blazes the belt into the trash and brings out this new eco-friendly WWE Championship on wood and hemp and all that type of stuff, which was definitely a surprise look to me. Yeah, Rowan, once again, the another sufferer of the single name curse. So, yeah. Something different, to say the least. And then basically got the setup for it.
Then we had AJ Styles came out and talked about how the belt was a disgrace.
Then he gets interrupted by... How'd you just smoke the old one?
Yeah. Then he gets interrupted by Randy Orton. Then it goes to commercial. And the only way you could have seen like the rest of the segment is if you were on WWE's YouTube channel, which was weird. So Randy Orton even says he doesn't care about the planet. He doesn't even recycle. Mustafa Ali interrupts him. No, actually, yeah, it was Mustafa Ali. And Randy Orton mentions how he got eliminated from the Royal Rumble by a girl, making fun of him. Which is kind of weird because WWE's in like that evolution moment. So it's like kind of weird that he would say that. But whatever.
It's driven.
Mustafa Ali talks about how he has all heart and he wants the WWE title. Jeff Hardy comes out and you didn't get to see him say anything. And then Samoa Joe comes out. He was on fire. He goes off on everybody. He goes off on Randy Orton. He goes off on Mustafa Ali. He goes off on AJ Styles. It was awesome. AJ Styles attacks him. It leads to a big brawl. And Triple H comes on the Titantron. Well, the screen. They don't call it the Titantron anymore. And announces the Elimination Chamber match with the new Daniel Bryan defending against Jeff Hardy, Mustafa Ali, Randy Orton, AJ Styles, and I think I'm missing somebody, but I think I don't know. I forget who I'm missing. Mustafa Ali, I think I missed. I don't know. Samoa Joe, I think that's who I missed.
Yeah, it's AJ Styles, Randy Orton, Samoa Joe, Jeff Hardy, Mustafa Ali, and the new Daniel Bryan. So yeah, this was, I don't know what was hotter tonight. Becky Lynch's right hook or Samoa Joe's mic. He buried everybody. That was the fastest pipe bomb I've ever seen. I thought Enzo buried the entire cruiserweight division with something. No, Joe got everybody. And then, of course, the key thing that got him, how's your old girl Wendy doing? Chaos ensued. Even after Triple H with the announcement, chaos still ensued after that. Daniel Bryan before that yelling, "None of you, not a single one of you get a shot at this because I'm going to be the WWE Championship forever." And then I love the fact that after Triple H makes the announcement, he goes straight into his no command, like, no, no,
Yeah.
no. But it was an awesome ending to a very bizarre show, to say the least.
But I gotta say, even though the show was bizarre, I still thought it was a good show just because of the Daniel Bryan segment, the Ray segment, and the opening segment with Becky. So I'm gonna give SmackDown a B minus just because it was really bizarre. So.
Well, like I said, I bleed blue, and usually I find SmackDown Live the better show than Raw. Call me biased, but definitely the last few weeks, back in the very end of 2018, I was not wrong, and it still seems to hold up today. I also think they have a better roster. Yeah, it was also a B minus for me. I love the Becky opening segment in Brawl. I love the ending segment in Brawl. I think the new title is very interesting. Heavy Machinery had a decent showing in the tag match. Fuck the tag team titles. That segment was pointless. Corey Graves, shut up about Mandy. But overall, the show kept me invested and interested. I'm talking about it more than Raw anyway.
Right.
So yeah, it was a B minus for me as well. Oh, so yeah, B minus.
Now on to 205 Live, which aired on the same day. What are your thoughts about that they put 205 Live back after SmackDown Live? Do you think that was a mistake or?
Well, it's weird because you're gotta think that's live now. It's after SmackDown Live. The audience has already been there for at least 2 hours, 2 hours and a half if you think about the match before, because they always do a match before SmackDown Live. I mean, I guess it's good that you got it live now, so maybe people will be more invested to watch it. It's on late at night, so maybe you got people home at work. But I feel like nothing's changing because it's still in a bad spot where you're dealing with an audience that's not fully invested in the product. Right. 205 Live matches me, I watch it every week, but I'm okay with it either way. I thought that both matches were very good.
Yeah. So we had I like, by the way, the intros that they show every week with Drake Maverick, like kind of hyping up the show too and everything. I like.
Well, that's because for first-time viewers, no one knows A, who the hell this guy is, and B, what the hell this show is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's important to me that Drake Maverick always does these recaps, talking about what happened last week. But not only that, he also talked about what happened this past Sunday. Because again, that Cruiserweight Fatal 4-Way was freaking awesome.
And you had the first match on the show. It was Kalisto with Grand Metalik and Lince Dorado versus Mike Kanellis with Maria Kanellis on commentary. This was a really good match here. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. Mike Kanellis dominated like a good majority of this match. He destroyed Kalisto throughout much of this match. He just threw him into the barricade a ton of times when Kalisto went to his dive.
Wait, Kalisto's body was bent.
Yeah. Kalisto hit his typical Kalisto moves, the Kalisto kicks and stuff like that. But Mike Kanellis hit 3 brainbusters, and he goes to finish off Kalisto, but Kalisto beats him with a roll-up, and this continues that storyline where we're questioning what's going to happen with the Kanellises. So I like this a lot. I thought this match was really good, and it was a really good opening match.
I like the fact that Maria was putting over how they haven't had the opportunity to show how good they are, especially when Nadia was saying, or when Percy was saying, Aiden English. I keep forgetting Aiden's now part of the team, where Aiden was basically saying, you haven't done anything.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of hard to do anything when you're not on the freaking show, just saying.
Yeah.
But Kanellis, he showed a lot of aggression here. He had some good moves, some good power moves. He had a near fall at one point with a package jawbreaker or something like that. And yeah, in the end, Kalisto won, not really, definitively. He just won him with a quick caught roll up after Kanellis got super frustrated. And now he's frustrated. So I guess they'll continue this storyline. We'll see where we go from here.
And then we have Drew Gulak and Gentleman Jack Gallagher backstage, and they talk about how Humberto Carrillo is a really good cruiserweight wrestler, but he doesn't have to do all these high-flying stuff. He can just be like them and keep to the ground and do wrestling moves. So they're volunteering
to way to win a match, but there are many wrong ways to win a match.
Yeah, I like that.
Me and Jack volunteer ourselves to be in your corner in your next match. For together we can make a better 205 Live.
I loved it.
I love the guy.
So that's their next feud now. So
pretty much.
Which is kind of funny because they're both in that. Well, Gulak and Humberto Carrillo are both in that Worlds Collide tournament. So.
Correct.
Well, actually, it's already happened, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, but I'm sure not everybody's seen it. Then again, how many people know 205 Live exists? 205 Live matters, people. It's not even an hour. Check it out if you can. Great matches.
Then Alia Davari and Hideo Itami are backstage, and Alia Davari talk about how Buddy Murphy got lucky at the Royal Rumble because that's how he win fatal four-way matches. And he said that he's going to show that Hideo Itami is the most decisive wrestler in the division, well, in the brand, because it's really more of a brand. But
yeah, it's a brand.
But I like this backstage promo. And then Hideo Itami says some things in Japanese.
Yeah, that sums up that.
Then it shows earlier in the day when Noam Dar and Tony Nese were like brawling backstage, well, in the parking lot, and Tony Nese attacked them. And like Buddy Murphy, Drew Gulak, Jack Gallagher, Drake Maverick all have to come break it up. And there was a notable face, a cameo by Sanjay Dutt. He was there too. So that was pretty cool. So what happens is we find out that Tony Nese has been suspended indefinitely. I'm assuming they're going to do a storyline where Noam Dar will want him to come back so that way they can have a match, and Drake Maverick will approve that. Then Buddy Murphy comes out and asks if he condones the attack, and Buddy Murphy says no because he doesn't want to get suspended. But then he talks about how he's the best cruiserweight in the world after winning that fatal four-way match. Right. I like this a lot. It was something different we really hadn't seen a whole lot of. So
yeah, he was saying how he cemented his legacy because you can't stop the unstoppable, and he's looking forward to his next challenges. So we'll see what's next for him.
Yeah, because I don't even know like when the next time the cruiserweights are going to be on. I think because it's been weird because typically sometimes the cruiserweights haven't been on like the main pay-per-views sometimes. So
well, let's see. They were on Survivor Series and they were on the main card there. TLC, I don't remember whether or not they were on that.
It was it was the Buddy Murphy. They won the kickoff. Buddy Murphy.
Oh, that's right. Cedric Alexander.
Yeah.
And then they've been on now. I mean, so far they're 3 in a row. We'll see what happens. But chances are, if they are again, because it's probably not one of the big four. Maybe we'll get lucky and it will be during the main card because we already got 2 Elimination Chamber matches. I guess you need to fill it somehow.
I hope they put him on. This is the time to put him on the main card. So
definitely.
Which is really weird. Like, why did they make the main card at Survivor Series but didn't at TLC? Like, that was just really stupid. So.
And yes, Survivor Series is supposed to be one of your big four, right? Yeah, on this big four, they were on the kickoff show, but I digress.
Then you had Akira Tozawa with the Brian Kendrick versus Hideo Itami with Aria Daivari. I'll let you break down this match.
It was a really good match back and forth. I mean, it started off with some quick roll-ups between the 2 men. Both men trying to hit the first kick. And again, it was really back and forth. I kind of saw who was going to win here because the 2, they have former history as tag team partners, and then they broke up, and then they had one-on-one encounter where Hideo went over. So it only makes sense with WWE logic that Akira wins this match. The factors in this match are going to have to be the outside people. Both people had an outside person in their corner. The Brian Kendrick and Akira, Aria Daivari in Hideo's corner. Hideo got the better of Akira, thanks mostly to Aria Daivari. But in the end, it ended up biting Hideo at one point when Daivari finally took out the Brian Kendrick. Akira Tozawa was distracted by it. He tries to capitalize by following up with a knee to the back of the head. Then Daivari's holding Akira hostage, and he goes for a basement drop kick. Ends up taking out Daivari, which finally leads to Akira taking out Hideo with his top rope back senton, which he went for a couple of times. Crash burn a couple of times, did some just from the ring, but apparently the top rope won. That wins in matches. It was a good back and forth altercation.
And then afterwards, Aria Daivari lifts up Hideo Itami and lays him out with the Hemlock clothesline. Which I was very confused when this happened at the time because I'm kind of like, why are they already breaking up? Well, the reports were out there that Hideo Itami is leaving WWE, and this is actually legitimate. There's no question about it. He's also mad about his creative direction, which, yeah, it kind of sucks, but it really wasn't kind of their fault because he kept getting injured anytime they were doing stuff with him. So I really kind of can't blame WWE for this one in a way. So
I feel like WWE and Hideo were both on the same page here because maybe Hideo blames WWE for what's happening. Maybe WWE blames Hideo for what's happening. But you're right. All these injuries, they've hindered Hideo's career pretty much since his start in NXT. So good for him that Kenta is finally back on the independent scene. He's requested release, and WWE granted it. We'll see where he goes from here. AEW, Impact, Ring of Honor. Some people said Noah back in Asia. Could be Dragon Gate. Hell, might be New Japan Pro Wrestling. Right. I will say this, though. He had some memorable moments. He had the championship match with Bobby Roode, the glorious Bobby Roode, back when he was literally a real heel, a real champ in 2017 at NXT TakeOver Chicago. He was in the Andre Giant War by back at WrestleMania 31. I think it was like the final 3. He had a couple appearances on Raw. He had a short feud with Austin Aries. And then he also feuded for a period of time with D. Brian Kendrick, broke his nose, took him out of action for a while. Kenneth had some memorable moments, just no championship gold. So hopefully, better things down the road for him.
And it looked, I mean, it kind of sucks too because it looked like they were actually starting to push him again too with this new gimmick with the Daria Daivari. But
yeah, and then Daivari just broke that up.
Yeah. Well, I'm assuming like this. Obviously, they did this because Hideo Itami is gonna be leaving. But I thought 205 Live was a really good show. I'm gonna give it a B+. It was really good. It was a great show actually.
Well, the problem with 205 Live, besides the fact most people don't know it exists, hashtag 205 Live matters. You got 2 matches with a roster of like 15 plus people, a couple of backstage segments, but you also get a recap. 205 Live always delivers at least a B for me. Sometimes an A- depending on the main event. But this was a substantial subpar main event that I knew was the outcome was going to be. Kind of saw what was going to happen. Kind of saw the best from both people before, even with the near fall and Akira's foot on the rope, or Hideo's foot on the rope. Forget that spot. But anyway, yeah, it was a B+ for me too. And we'll see what happens next week. Besides Roberto Carrillo and Drew Gulak in his corner building that story.
Yeah, because I don't think they didn't announce any matches for next week, did they?
No, they did not. And they usually announce at least one match. There is no announcements for a definitive match so far as next week goes.
One thing, though, that did disappoint me, though, is we found out that Vic Joseph and Nigel McGuinness were going to commentate the Worlds Collide tournament because I wanted it to be Moro and Nigel, but I guess we can't have what we want. So
not all the time.
And then NXT UK. It took place on January 31st, 2019. This was episode 28. Happy it's back to one episode. So there's that.
Yeah.
It was back in not the Royal Albert Hall, but Blackpool.
Yeah, it was back in Blackpool, the side of NXT UK TakeOver.
Right.
Which by far is still one of the best events I've seen so far this year. January had a really good month for wrestling, and also glad it's also back to one episode because this was a loaded episode.
Yeah, I thought so too. So you had the opening video package where you had people like Ashton Smith and Sid Scala hyping up Walter because he was debuting tonight. Then you had Dave Mastiff versus Primate Jay Melrose. This was actually a good big man match. I really enjoyed it. Jay Melrose really took it to Dave Mastiff, but then eventually he tries to slam Dave Mastiff, and that ends up being the downfall of Jay Melrose. Dave Mastiff just kills him with sentons right across his back. He hits like a German suplex into the corner and hits the Void for the win, and Dave Mastiff goes over. I thought this was a pretty good match here. What do you think?
It was a good opener and good competition for Dave Mastiff coming off that win against Eddie Dennis from TakeOver.
Yeah.
Both men really had a good showing here. I feel like both men brought something a little different to the table. I don't know what Jay was thinking when he was trying for that deadlift, and then his legs collapsed on him, and Mastiff just fell on top of him for a cover. But yeah, in the end, he won with 2 back sentons into the Void move. And then he intelligently covered him for the pin so he couldn't get his foot on the rope or really kick out with all of his weight.
Yeah.
I think either way, it was a good first single showing for Primate. And Mastiff remains undefeated. Another great single showing as he heads towards the NXT UK Championship picture. But with Walter in the fold, who knows who's going to be next now?
Right. Then you had the shortest vignette I've ever seen in my life with Xia Li. Like, it just showed like maybe like a minute, not even a minute of this vignette. It was very weird.
Xia Brookside, yeah, and bottom line, you'll see her fly next week. So yeah, we'll see Xia Brookside in action. Be interested to see who she's in action with. Hopefully this means that NXT UK is building up their women's roster because they need to do that. They need to do more than just Toni Storm and Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
So we'll see who Xia faces. Might be Killer Kelly, might be Charlie Morgan, might be Nita Samuels. There's a lot of good talent there. Heck, we got 2 new signings now. Might be Kaylee Ray. She has former history of her too. Hell, might be her running mate Millie McKenzie, who she's faced multiple times on the indie scene.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
And then I'll let you break this down. James Drake and Zach Gibson's, more like Zach Gibson, just Zach Gibson's promo though. But
let's face it, Zach Gibson's the mouthpiece there. James Drake just along for the ride. But these two, they have prior history. They are grizzled young vets as former Progress Tag Team champions as well. And basically now Zach is just literally ignoring the crowd, but he also acknowledges them. You can throw up your shoes. You can say your chant. You're not going to take this moment from me. He said basically, this is my moment. This is our moment. We are the best, soon to be the greatest tag team champions, soon to make these titles the best and most worthy titles of NXT UK's brand. And again, it was just another Zach Gibson promo. The crowd, incredible heat. You still suck. If you hate Zach Gibson, shoes up. They finally have their name, using their name. Grizzled Young Vets. It was another masterful Zach Gibson promo, but his keyword soon bit him in the butt when Sid Scala came out, also congratulated them, talked about Worlds Collide, but also talked about the first title defense between Only Lorcan and NXT UK's own Danny Burch that will also be happening soon.
Yeah, I'm very I think he said pretty much too what's gonna happen when they do the tape-ins in the Phoenix, because that's kind of what he alluded to. Which I'm very excited about that, because I think that would be a hell of a tag team match.
Hey, I would love to see NXT UK talent on US soil one day at an NXT live event. So hey.
Yeah. So I'm excited about that. Then you had Jack Stars versus Walter. It was Walter's debut match. And poor Jack Stars, he got murdered in this match. Like,
kudos to Jack Starr, though. He sold everything Walter did. Both men, incredible showing. Both men deserve the audience's admiration and standing ovations. Walter, you know what he's capable of. Power bomb, power, the loudest chop you probably ever heard in your life, a drop kick, and just an overall just at presence. I mean, from his entrance to his just stand to just the fact he hasn't said a single word yet.
Yeah.
Incredible debut, and Jack Stars, good on you. Hope your chest gets well soon.
Especially too, I liked it when he like dropped him like face first, like right into the apron too. Like, that was really cool.
Threw him onto the apron, demonstrating his strength, almost like a long shot or shot put. There we go.
Then he's backstage, and I think it was just Joe Coffey. I don't think it was anybody else.
It was Mark
Coffey.
Yeah, I know it's hard. It's sometimes hard to distinguish too, but it was Mark.
And they get into altercation, which leads to Johnny Saint making the match for next week, which I'm very excited for.
Yeah, and also you had a near Ring Conf reunion with Marcel Bartel. Fury Nightmare, he's not part of Ring Conf, but they could be recreating a Ring Conf faction in NXT UK for all we know. What I thought was interesting here, this is the first time Marcel Bartel said something besides "Nay."
Yeah.
So I thought that was very interesting. It'll be interesting to see where they go from here, especially when they said, "We got your back." Wouldn't be surprised to see him in his corner next week or shortly down the line.
And then you had Ginny versus Casey Owens. Thought this match was kind of sloppy. Just didn't really feel like they were kind of reading the same book. Like Casey Owens went for like a crossbody, and Ginny was like, kind of far away from it. And it just didn't really, I don't know, I just didn't think this match was very smooth, but that's just me. But I thought Ginny, looked decent in the match. She wins with the Rolling X Factor out of the corner. I believe she calls it like some sort of fashion move, because she's
It's called the makeover, but the commentators are putting it over as a fashion disaster. So good on them. Basically, to sum up, Casey Owens for you, she's a indie UK wrestler as well. She doesn't really have no prior history to my knowledge with Ginny, but she's faced the likes of Kelly Ray and Nina Samuels. She brings a lot of what people have called psychology and humor to her matches. You could tell just from her entrance and the way she got into the ring.
Yeah.
So this is more of her putting Jenny as a more viable contender towards the NXT UK Women's Championship, which you got to imagine she's going to be the next challenger after Rhea. But anyway, and before this, they even were putting over Ginny and how she beat Isla Dawn, I believe, last week or a couple weeks ago. But yeah, I mean, I thought Ginny had a good showing here. It really showed what Ginny was capable of, how vicious and aggressive she is. From her double Achilles lock, single Achilles lock, the way that she does submissions, like Jerry Slaughter points out, is very impressive. But also, she was using her nails digging into the skin.
That I like too.
On point. That was a nice touch too. And yeah, like you said, X Factor, they call it the makeover. And she also throws a little bit of trash talk in there as well. This time she said that this time little girl and just plants her face first. Got the win. The only memorable spot I could see from Casey was that draping armbar over the top rope. So she had her spot, but in the end, it was put Ginny over. I think job well done by Casey, and we'll see what's next for Ginny. It might be Deanna Purrazzo or Zara Brookside, for all we know.
Right. And then Rhea Ripley's backstage, and she comes up to Sid Scala and Johnny Saint, and she demands her rematch for the NXT UK Women's title. And they said they're going to talk about it, so we find out later on in the show that in 3 weeks, it's going to be Rhea Ripley versus Toni Storm. Actually, outside the UK, it's going to be in Phoenix, which I'm very excited for. And I can't wait to see that match. I think that match would be awesome. So.
Yep, we got that announced, and we got Mark versus Walter officially announced, too. That didn't take long at all. Yeah, and Rhea, she made valid points. She was in both Mae Young Classics. She's been NXT UK's Women's Champion. She was the inaugural champion. She wants to rematch in Phoenix. She's the best of both worlds. She deserves it. They're like, you got it. So there you go.
And then, and I guess that whole no rematch clause then doesn't apply in NXT UK because she got a rematch. So. Well,
the way that they treat rematches in the NXT brands is definitely different versus the main roster. So I'm okay with it. It's not it's constantly played out to death.
Right. Then you had the match of the night. Which obviously was obvious because every other match was an enhancement match. But Mustache Mountain versus Fabian Eichner and Marcel Bartel. This match was an awesome match.
Nice.
I really enjoyed it. Marcel Bartel and Fabian Eichner dominate Tyler Bate for a long-ass time. And then eventually Trent Seven gets the hot tag. And he hits the reverse half-and-half suplex, which is awesome. And they go for their tag team finish, the reverse half-and-half suplex into like the rebound clothesline, but Marcel Bartel hits
that's off the past. That kick.
And they just go at it. They do the brain buster combination, which Trent Seven breaks that up. They do the spine buster into the penalty kick. They do eventually they'll Mustache Mountain win with the half-and-half suplex into the clothesline onto, I believe it was Marcel Bartel or Fabian Eichner. I don't remember which one for the win. But this match was really good. I really don't have a complaint about who won because this match really could have gone either way. It could have made sense for Mustache Mountain to win and rebuild them, or it could have made sense for Fabian Eichner and Marcel Bartel to win to kind of give like Mustache Mountain like an underdog story. So I don't really think anyone looked bad for losing here. And yeah, I guess this kind of counts as Fabian Eichner and Marcel Bartel's like first like legitimate loss in NXT UK because I know they lost in a match in NXT, but I don't think they counted that because it didn't happen in NXT UK. But I thought this match was great. I thought both teams looked really good, and I'm really excited to see what happens next. What do you think of this match?
I absolutely loved it. I still think Fabian Eichner and Marcel Bartel need a better name besides being called the European Union. At least is what Nigel McGuinness is putting them over. I loved it, though. I love the slow feeling out process between all four men. There was constant quick tags. You started off with Bate and Bartel. They had a little back and forth. Then Trent came in. Then Eichner came in. Eichner gets hit, toss. You got Bate coming in. At one point, we get like chops. We get a pop-up slam, I believe, by Eichner. There was like an uppercut cover after Bartel was tagged. Another shot when Eichner was tagged. Eichner is incredibly powerful. He was definitely the most powerful person here. But of course, Tyler Bate, he's got to give you the spot of the night. Tyler Bate, star of the match by far. He gives you that spot of the night, of course, with the airplane spin and the deadlift. There was a couple spots of miscommunication between Fabian Eichner and Marcel Bartel. And again, you had like the Snapdragon suplex. You had at one point the throw into the brainbuster, as you called it. At one point, there was a couple of insecurities, one after grabbing a Trent's hair, I believe. You know, a little bit of foul play. One of my favorite spots by Tyler Bate, you had Bop and Bang. You had Bate that goes flying. You had a 7-star lariat into a near fall. I felt like at one point, Trent Seven was showing signs of frustration and desperation for the win. And I feel like if Mustache Mountain didn't win here, it could eventually have led to a breakup or a feud between the two. Because Tyler Bate, former singles competitor, the two have faced each other before in one-on-one encounters. But yeah, I mean, and the match just kept getting hotter from there. I mean, you had stunners. I love that one move where there was like a reverse stunner out of a German suplex almost by, I think it was Tyler Bate.
Yeah.
And Bartel basically just gets that brainbuster in there. There's another cover, broken by Trent, but barely. And usually Bartel, he's the one saving Eichner in this match, but Trent was fought smart at that and took out Bartel. And yeah, you're right. In the end, Mustache Mountain won with the full Nelson Dragon suplex combo, pinning Eichner for the win. I feel like the team won, but still Eichner and Bartel, they went over strongly. And again, this might just be a teaser to bring Comp, bringing on Walter, make him even seem stronger. As far as where Mustache Mountain goes from here, I don't know. It's hard to say. But we'll see what happens from here. Great match overall.
Yeah. One scary spot in the match was you might have mentioned it, but the tilt-a-whirl gutbuster. I felt like he injured Tyler Bate when he got hit with that move because it didn't look like it went very smooth. Like it looked like he needed him right in the head.
I thought he gave him a concussion with that kick.
Yeah.
He denied him of that rebound lariat, as you like to call it, and just kicked his head in. Damn.
But that was not 205. That was NXT UK. Great show. Easily a B+ show. No questions about it.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. If you give it less than a B+, you don't know what you're talking about. There was 4 matches. I felt like they were all in the right order. You had a hell of a closer. You have a great build now towards at least a couple things to look forward to, not only next week, but down the road. NXT UK, once again, delivers. Hasn't given me a bad episode yet.
No, and they haven't. Then you have the worst show of all of them, main events.
Here we go.
Here's the commentary team. It's Percy Watson, Byron Saxton, and Renee Young. There's no play-by-play guy here. It doesn't make any sense. As
a recap show, so why take it seriously?
I guess, yeah. First match was the Lucha House Party versus Jinder Mahal and the Sin Brothers. I mean, it was fun towards the end when the Lucha House Party was diving and stuff, and Lince Dorado wins by pinning one of the Sin Brothers with the shooting star press. That was nice, but it was just there. Didn't care about it. How could you care about something like that? So
it was the same finish to Raw. Wait a minute. Did this match happen on Raw this week too?
No, the go-home show before the Royal Rumble.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say it because it feels like it just as quick. But anyway, yeah, I mean, come on. Who thought that freaking Jinder Mahal and the Sin Brothers were going to beat the Lucha House Party, even on a show no one cares about? Right. It's not going to happen. And yeah, fun spots as always. Lucha House Party, they did their thing.
And then you had the main event.
And then you got SmackDown, and then we got recaps for SmackDown and the Elimination Chamber talking about we got for the tag team, and we got the WWE Championship Elimination Chamber. And then they talked about what's coming up on Raw. Why the fuck is Nikki Cross paired with Alicia Fox? Do you seriously expect those two to A, gyrate together, and B, become your Raw freaking tag team champions? Are you kidding me? And they're facing who next week?
The Boss and Hug Connection.
Anyway.
Then you had the main event. So you can say it was, I don't even know if you could call this really a main event though, but it was the B team versus the Ascension. You didn't even see half the match on the show. It was just Noah's sad.
Why? Why is this a thing? Why? Why is this a thing? B Team and Ascension. Why? Those two get. That's a match? Seriously? Ascension can't freaking beat. I'm guessing the B Team won, right?
Yeah, they won with like the back suplex and like that neck wiggle combo they hit or whatever. So
I freaking.
like you didn't even see like half the match though. Like they like went to commercial like halfway through. So what main event gets like a F.
Yeah, the day main event doesn't get an F. That will shock me. And then after that, you got the Raw recap again with Braun, Corbin, Drew, and then Seth and Triple H and Seth's choice. Whoop-be-doo. I'm like, okay, so this is why you have this much talent in catering. You just put them on main event, which is basically the match or matches before Monday Night Raw goes on the air. Hell, at least Kurt Hawkins and Goldust seem more relevant when I freaking saw it live back in March last year. But I guess. Why do these two teams exist on freaking Monday Night Raw? Why do these two teams exist on the main roster?
Yeah. The B Team sucks. And I'm not saying they suck because of badly book. I actually legitimately think they suck.
I hate the B Team. And Ascension, go back to NXT when you were the former longest reigning NXT Tag Team Champions. Please and thank you.
So what do you get? You didn't grade main event yet. What do you give it for a grade?
F minus.
I don't even think that's possible, but okay. We ended it off on such a bad note. Like, we had such a positive mood, and then we started talking about main events, and it just like what went down.
Yeah, well, that's WWE for you. And that's me. That's my view on it.
All right. Well, that's pretty much the end of this video. Thank you for being on like the downhill spiral to like great. And think about it, we went from like the fantastic NXT show to main events. Like,
that's usually what happens. Then SmackDown puts me on high, and then you bring main event in the floor, and I'm like, crash and burn, kamikaze. Yeah, it was fun though, man. Anytime, my pleasure.
Yeah, you're welcome to come on anytime. But yeah, do you have anything? I mean, I don't know how much you like how much promotion will happen, but do you have anything you want to plug or promote?
Yeah, sure, why not? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm just a simple man and a lifelong fan, if you can't tell, of wrestling. So if you want to follow me, talk about wrestling, critique me, come at me, bros and sisters, look me up, nodq.com/no takes to my Twitter. If you want to check out my YouTube channel where I do monthly Wrestle Crate unboxings, sometimes preview predictions, WWE and beyond. Heck, I've been doing Impact previews now. And my retrospective every week on 205 Live called 205 Live Matters, where I go even deeper than this. Look at my YouTube channel, youtube.com/users/Noah Foster 210, all together, no space. And also, folks, you see what I'm repping? This is called No DQ, great wrestling community. If you want anything latest and greatest and the goofiest in wrestling news, memes, rumors, sexy female pictures, and all other stuff in between, follow nodq.com. And as always, folks, oh, I forgot one more thing. Also, we got a shop for shirts. Go buy a shirt, folks. nodq.com/shirts like this one. Who knows? Your name might be on it. Check out our musical playlist. Yep, he's repping. Good shirt. I also got that too, waiting for it to come.
Except obviously, it would be front when you get it, because...
Nah, shoot, man, you're cool. We're all No DQ. Heck, we're No DQ NXT team. By the way, folks, in case you forgot, Owen Finch here, member of No DQ NXT team, currently No DQ NXT team champion. We'll see you at TakeOver for Mania. I'm coming for your belt. Anyway, yeah, check out our playlist on Spotify. Hashtag Team No DQ. Got every song on there imaginable, from Captain Planet theme to Strand to Sublime to Eminem to freaking Alan Jackson. And also, as always, folks, support your wrestling outlets, both big and small. Support indie wrestling, especially, because that's where it all starts. And as always, like this guy right here, let's keep growing this wrestling community together. Simple as that.
All right. Not like No DQ. I don't think No DQ needed the promotion from my channel, but any promotion's good promotion, though. So,
hey, you know, man, this was a fun forum. Other people should do this with you. And hey, Maybe one of these days when I find time, I'll get you on a Skype call. We'll just talk literally just 205 live for like 15 or 20 minutes. I don't know.
Yeah.
Depends on our schedule.
But make sure you check out my channels, Owen the Talkinator and CM Brothers. Owen the Talkinator is my non-wrestling YouTube channel, and CM Brothers is just my random YouTube channel where I just post a little bit of everything. And obviously check out this channel. Stuff coming up is Wednesday. Me and my friend Chris will be doing the Retro Wrestling Review Series again. We'll be reviewing WrestleMania 21 since, we're going to do WrestleMania themed stuff. You're welcome to come on for that if you want. You just have to watch the show.
Okay. Well, we'll see what my schedule brings. I kid you not. Sometimes I go back and watch WrestleMania 23. That's still one of my favorite manias.
And then we're going to do the Wrestling Rundown, which is the show that he's on right now. Again, we're going to do 2 episodes next week because we're going to break up the Worlds Collide tournament and the Halftime Heat show into one video. And then everything we just talked about now we'll just be talking about again next week.
Good idea.
We're going to do probably the Halftime Heat and the Worlds Collide Thursday, and then the same day Saturday that we just did this week. But it's probably going to be at a different time because my friend doesn't want to stay up until like this time now.
At 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah. But that's pretty much the end of the video. Thank you guys for watching, and we will talk to you guys later.
Have a good night.